Fred Armisen. When I think of Fred, I think of sweet and nice.
Yes.
When I think of David,
Porcupine.
I'll get back to you.
Look at this. I got on my phone. What's up?
It's just audio, isn't
I
it?
gotta take this. Yeah. Oh, 1,000,000 Deutschmarks. No, Bitcoins. No, flip it for polka dot. Okay. Sorry, I had to take that.
You got to get a
Fred Armisen.
You better get a show on Netflix. You got a lot.
No, everyone makes fun of my phone because it has that. I really stepped into it and just said, no, I owned it.
Fred Armisen, sweet guy.
I just saw a sketch of his I'm going to ask about, but I just saw a sketch of his that's hysterical. He's got and he was in the bubble. Fred's in the bubble, and I didn't recognize him because he's wearing a wig. And I said, oh, are you playing a character? I don't know how acting works. Anyway.
Fred is extremely versatile, and his thing is music. Like he's a real musician, and he's a real drummer.
Oh, yeah. He would sit in on Seth, right?
His comedy is always very rhythmic and musical.
What about mine?
Yours is you're the king of snark.
That's it? After
Didn't
all
they used
this
to call
time, that's
your
all I
brand
get?
of comedy snarky?
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd said snarky, and I never had heard that term.
Me neither. I don't know when it came
And that was
up.
way, way back when I was on the show. He goes, you got snarky down, kid. And I was like, snarky? I thought it was a Canadian word. I didn't know.
I like when an adult, he's like 18 months older than me. Listen to me, kid.
He seems older because he was such a legendary. We took over Spin Magazine for a month at the old SNL, and I got to interview Danny Aykroyd.
Oh, yeah.
All right, sir. Fair enough, sir. And talking about Blues Brothers and all the cool things I liked. Fred Armisen. We keep getting drifting off.
Does every dialect. He does every musical style. And he's just everywhere. He works like crazy. He's always in stuff.
Yeah.
And
we got to sit down with him, and now you get to. So plug it in, crank it up, and break it off.
Squeeze it, hone it, shine it, pluck it, wax it.
And smack it on the bing bong. Here we go.
Freddie
Armisen.
Freddie Armisen. Go. It feels like, Fred, you're the first cast member. Are we starting, or is it?
Start this shit.
Wait, can you hear me okay? Like, is the mic working okay and all that stuff?
I can hear you.
Unfortunately, yes.
Can you hear me, Fred?
Yes. Crystal clear.
Can you hear Spade?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now, Fred? Oh, God. I can't trick a trickster.
Bits?
Of all the cast members of SNL, you had the widest range of ethnicities, or what the word would be, that you could play. Like you could play like anything from all over the world. What was that about?
It's just that
Keep your answer to 1 hour exactly.
my mom's Venezuelan, so and my dad is half Korean and half German. So I think that they were, they're immigrants. So I think somewhere in there, as far as DNA goes, that's how it worked out.
You're all over. Yeah.
But you're not offending anyone because you're a part 1% of something.
Yes.
So
yeah,
that's a good idea.
And that's just how it worked out. And you know how it is over there. Like when they have, a role for you in one of the sketches, you just, try to do it.
I played Tony Montana in a sketch.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do that now. Whenever I do that, because I enjoy doing Scarface, the Tony Montana accent, and I'm doing Al Pacino's bizarre Cuban accent, and that seems to relax people. Like I'm not making a statement about people from Cuba.
It is tough if you're just trying to mimic something or mimic a look, which is the whole thing. And some are offensive and some aren't, when you're just going, I'm just trying to do my best to represent that person, whatever that is, voice, hair, face, wigs. And then sometimes a wig will be counted as offensive or something about it will be offensive. And then more and more as time goes on. With me and Dana, not as bad. With you, maybe it was a little tougher.
A little, but then I think it just got tougher as the casts kept
Really
going.
tough.
So as the years kept going, that kept changing. And it probably will keep changing. I'm guessing.
It's getting tougher for sure.
I think so, but I think there's stuff I've looked up with other, I call them bandmates, your bandmates from, that era with, line them up. It was as good as any cast by far. I mean, you had Maya, you had Amy, you, Seth, you had Billy Hader, you had Jason Sudeikis. So you had an all-star,
Andy Samberg.
And you guys could get away with a lot in 2005, I think.
Yeah,
not so-called get away. You could expand your comedy appetites, and then it did evolve into wherever it is.
And get away with stuff.
And get away with it. Sounds kind of negative, David.
No, but listen, first of all, I apologize. My voice is so sexy, but I think I might, I don't know.
What?
You may have COVID?
No, I don't. I don't because I did. No, Fred, stop spreading the rumor. I went to James Corden yesterday and they gave me a test, so I don't have it. But I just feel, you know what? I'm a hard worker. That's my crime.
Yeah. Oh,
I work so hard.
I'm gonna do
Fred. You get it.
My Christoph Waltz. I'm doing my new Christoph Waltz impression, talking about that. So you're a hard worker. That's when I was in Dusseldorf, people would say I look like a crazy person on the street. And this is just him in real life. He's not even. He's like you're kind of like him, Fred, in a way. Like you hit these rhythms. You do stuff that makes me so happy. And I don't like rankings anymore because people ask us, what's the best? What's the second? I'll just say you're one of my favorites because you never pushed. They're all such quirky stuff. And even you and Bill Hader's Italian, fake Italian guy, which I love that sketch. Just how you're playing it so real. It just as the guy eating. Like I could listen to that forever, but shall we go back to the beginning?
But Dana, coming from you, I mean, like walking the halls of SNL, you just came up all the time as like the gold standard of how to have like an incredible first year. I cannot believe even your first year.
Oh yeah, he came out of the gate with a cold open and never looked back.
Once I had the lady, I was okay, but. You came in as a feature player, and also it was different back then. The show, there was only 6 of us, me, Phil,
Jesus,
John,
what,
and of main players.
Wow,
just
no wonder you got fed. 6 little birds in the nest. You got so many worms.
Michael Winslow.
And you fucking made fun of me on Kimmel. I'll talk to you after the class.
I did it once because you're a fan favorite on Kimmel, and then every time I did it, they laugh. So I'm a comedian, so I'm like, it's like okay. I go, I'm David. I'm sad.
That's pretty good, actually.
Anyway, back.
But David, I did not mean to, also. I didn't want to overlook the fact that how great you were on SNL as well. I didn't mean to
swinging back.
Just you didn't want to gloss over that. So,
no, thank you, buddy. But I will give it up that Dana was the gold standard. When I got there, he was already crushing it, and then he just
with characters
continued to mow
everything.
down. Yeah.
Thank you. We're recording, right? This is recording. Okay, good. Just want to make sure.
Put it for your clip reel.
This is called Gold. No, but I don't know where to start with you, and I want to get to a lot of things. I hope you don't have much to do today.
I have I think 4 minutes, and then we gotta wrap it up.
Oh, you got a hard, fast.
I have a question for him, Dana. Before you get to really young stuff, because he hasn't really answered anything yet.
Mm-hmm.
We just talk over him. Mm-hmm. But Fred, one of my favorite things that I did not see live, but I saw today, was such a great monologue when you acted out you doing a play about how you got SNL.
Yeah, like a one man show.
Yeah, it was so weird and quirky and interesting, and I loved how Dana, he does Lauren's voice in it, and of course he does it really horribly and nothing like Lauren.
Yeah,
hysterical.
Like a mafia boss or something.
Yeah, he goes. I went in his office. And he's like, "Hey kid, come on."
That's all written by Seth Meyers. That monologue.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, top to bottom.
Great.
He just
it was great because I just when you do that, I picture it at read through. Sometimes monologues for people at home don't get put up at read through because they're not even written till Friday.
Right.
But if you do it at read through, I was thinking, fuck, he's got to move around and stand up. And so that read throughs where you move around are tough. You can lose the crowd quickly. Also, Dana,
or in the
like
performance on Wednesday,
Fred would go because you walked off the stage and you went up to someone in the audience. What did you ask her?
Don't answer. Like, what do you think?
Yeah,
what do you think?
What do you think? What do you think?
Yeah.
And she just as a real person, right?
Yeah, that was a real person. Yeah,
yeah. And then she doesn't know what to say, so she finally goes, "You think I'm lying? You think I'm lying?" She goes, "No," and you go, "Don't answer, please. Don't ruin it. You're ruining it."
Part of the show.
And then you keep asking her, and then she says something else, and you go, "God damn, you ruined it." And you walk back. All that was so funny. If you want to look it up,
thanks. But what I was going to ask you guys is, where at read through, what space did you go to do stuff where you had to walk? Because you know how difficult it is around a table. Where were you when you had to sort of act something out?
It was kind of over by Cheryl Hardwick on the piano. There was just a little wedge of a space there.
Yeah.
And I did one once. I really didn't like to do it because it felt like you were trying too hard, but I did one once with Ben Stiller playing Bono. I was playing the Edge, and Dolly Parton had to stand up, and we stood and did our little sketch there. You know, that was the one I remember for you. Did you stand up a lot or move around in the?
I'm the same. Like, I did not like to do it because it was just also, of 3 sketches before it, you're sort of thinking, okay, where do I have to go? Where do I have to walk to? And then but it was sort of over by the piano, but in between those doors, there's like these 2 main doors before you go into that writer's room. In there looked like a little bit of a stage, kind of.
Yeah.
But God,
the entrance to the writer's room.
Yes. Kind of in front of it towards the table.
But we had so many fucking people jammed in read-through room. I mean, it was, if people at home can picture like a big sort of square where everyone sits around, all the main cast and Lauren and the host.
Yeah.
Host and Lauren were by the window. I got to sit next to the host when Dana left. But before that, I think I sat behind Dana. And then, do you know where you were in that thing? Because it was like 3 deep. Like, people were stacked in there.
At the table, I was diagonally across to the left. And I think I was at the same place every year, which I liked. It was like,
once you pick a place, you kind of stay there. And for people at home, again, it's like 3 or 4 deep, and you have every department. You have a rep from every department. So Wiggs will be watching a sketch like you do, and you see him scribbling going, "Oh, this is going to fucking suck. This guy needs 8 wigs in here." And then music, if you need them, Cheryl hits the piano, or maybe GE's in there, and they help a bit. But you're right. You know what? You don't want to be sweaty.
No.
And so if you get up to do a bit, everyone's like, this better be 3 times as funny as it would have been sitting down.
Yeah, because you've got to walk up to that spot. That's the hard part. You got to
a 5-hour read through, and everyone's like, "What are you doing?"
Because you're snaking through with your little script, and he's moving up there now.
Excuse me,
he's going to perform
with a ukulele, and it's.
If it bombs, it's even 10 times more sickening.
Awful. Dead silence.
Yeah, that was on a nerve scale of 1 to 10. I mean, where was read through compared to the actual show? I mean, it had its own terrors. Really.
I mean, it went so long that sometimes it just got, you just get sleepy as it's going.
5 hours, right?
Yeah,
4 or 5 hours.
That kind of dissipates after a while. But it's the build up to your sketch that,
Oh, you see it coming, and you're like, "Oh no!" And then something kills right before it, and you go,
"Oh my God,
it just fucked me."
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. I'd see like right before it, it's like Adam's new song. I'm like, no. Come on, give me a chance.
Or something where you think it's brilliant. Something that you think is brilliant, and then when you get there, it's the exact opposite. And that silence is the worst.
Yeah, when they don't bite in the first joke that you think is really great, you think the premise has been set up, and you hit your first thing, and it's less than nothing.
No,
there's disdain subconsciously in the room,
and
then you've got 9 pages of pain.
Yeah, when Tom Davis, well, no names, but when Tom Davis would write like a 17-pager, and some of them really worked, and if it doesn't work by page 4, and you feel the whole wave just tap out, everyone leans back.
Yeah,
and you just go, oh, and if you're in it or if you wrote it, and you're like, please God, Lauren, just go to the next one. Don't do this to me, because I don't want to be like, just swinging hard. And everyone already just said, no, not on this one.
No, nobody. Even your best friends are like,
it's not clicking. And they kind of were quietly going, yeah.
So Fred, you since we're on SNL, because you were on it, so you come in as a feature, and then in 2 seasons, you go to the main company. Like, how was that journey? How did that change? And what begot that?
I felt lucky to even be there at all. Even that first show, I didn't know that I was going to get on,
Mm-hmm.
So whatever it was, I kind of liked, there was like less pressure to be a feature player, Just is kind of like,
Yeah.
it's okay if on a couple of shows I play an elf or something.
Right.
So
or you're not on at all.
that happened.
That happens a lot.
Yeah. And we had a lot of cast members. So it's kind of nice. I kind of liked sort of easing into it. And then, however many, that was like 2 years later, it was like a nice, I don't know, it's a good feeling to, I guess I'm actually part of the cast. But it all felt like just a lucky break every step of the way. Even, and not exaggerating, even the audition, just being there up on, just at the where people do the monologues. Even I was like, I cannot believe I got this
Terrifying.
far. Can't believe that I'm actually on the stage in front of Lorne Michaels. I was starstruck by Lorne Michaels.
And they sit in those little seats like where the
Totally.
audience at home sits during the monologue in the little chairs in front.
Yeah.
And the theater's empty.
gross.
The studio's dead empty. And it's a death march. What were I don't really know your journey, just to go back a little bit, because I want to talk about your music career and your musicianship. I just had a little pop earlier. He's a musician and a drummer. and then you start, how did you get your stuff together that ended up auditioning? Were you going to theater groups for 3 years, or what was that journey from music to comedy?
I was doing music for a long time, like all through my 20s. I was in a band, and that's all I was going to do. We broke up, and then I started making videos of me interviewing bands and stuff as different characters.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure they were weird.
It was weird, and
funny.
and I knew the band, so it was just it was kind of, and all of a sudden that video, and it was on VHS, like sort of made the rounds, and I started to, I would be asked to be on some variety show, some like Cornelius Street, something where there's a couple of comedians and some music. And I just started doing characters. I did this one character who I auditioned with, Felicito, like a timbale player. It was like Tito Puente.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
that one. And then somewhere in there, like it fit into stand-up shows. So there would be like all these regular stand-ups, and in it there would be this one weird thing. I would just do a character. I don't think there were any jokes, and that was something that I could sort of use as an act. And then Bob Odenkirk. So I started doing this at Largo in LA, and I would do Felicito. I did this self-defense expert. I did a bunch of characters. And, this scene was like where like Zach Galifianakis was, Nick Swardson.
Oh, Largo's great.
Yeah, Largo is amazing.
Yeah.
It was kind of like the only place I performed at. And then Bob Odenkirk had me on a pilot for a variety, a sketch show called Next for Fox. It was just a pilot.
Mm-hmm.
And I did these characters, and, there were sketches with everyone. There was a cast and everything, but I had enough. The pilot didn't go, but I had enough video to send to SNL. So we sent it.
Did Odenkirk help you with that? Because he's a big deal at SNL.
He's responsible for me having all of that together. Before that, I was just at Largo. He was the one who sort of made the work that I did legitimate to be on a Fox pilot.
Sure. And he could spot that you were good.
He was.
He's great too. He knows
amazing.
all that shit.
He's amazing.
He goes and does like 3 other great sketch shows.
Yeah. Incredible.
Yeah.
And then from that video, we sent it into SNL, and Marcy Klein saw it. She showed it to Lauren. And then next thing I know,
Marcy, who's going to be on our podcast
Marcy's
soon.
coming on. Yeah,
She knows where all the bodies are buried.
I mean, she really, made sure that Lauren saw it, the video.
Yeah.
And from there, then I just, came into audition, and I just did this.
Was that like 5 years? Sorry, just that timeline of what between
no,
musician
it's like
and
4. It's like 4. So let's something like that. It was 2002 is when I got on the show, and then 99 is like kind of when I was making those videos, like 98, 99. Yeah. So whatever that is. And then
were you ever a straight? I'm sorry, a straight stand up, or was it always like
never?
You just came on. I don't want to say variety acts. That sounds like you're reducing it too much. So as characters, you go on and do, but that's hard to find stage time if you don't go in and say I'm a stand up. They don't know what to do with you, right?
Yes, but there are venues and shows going on where it works for the show. So if there's like, Patton Oswalt and Paul F. Tompkins and Karen Kilgariff are doing a show, it's like the one little weird thing at the end that kind of works with the rest of the show. So that was like my
little paprika at the end. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was like my sweet spot. So I did the audition as Felicito, that timbale player, and I did him doing impressions and characters. So this way,
Yes.
there's like a way in.
It does Liberace.
Yeah. I did Sam Waterston from Law and Order. And
can we hear one line?
I can't even picture it.
That's such a subtle one, isn't it?
The trial judge heard the testimony. Why didn't you call 911? Why didn't you call the police? Like this,
Oh, that's awesome.
He just has something like his teeth or something. There's a way that it's in it's in like his skull.
It's very trebly too, and almost garbly.
Yeah,
I love it.
I kind of want to ask you, because these are things that pop into my head. It's like your musicality and your all that. How do I mean? It's obvious it's informing your comedy, and is that how do you find that connection? Like when I was a guest host, you wrote a really funny musical thing we're in, and I was watching you just tap it out on some little computer, and just like I don't know if there's been a cast member who was really a musician like you were, and a brilliant drummer. I thought we'll get to that later, but how does that inform your stuff, or is it just a completely separate part of your brain?
No,
I think it's just intuitive.
It's completely. It was the only thing I knew. Being in bands for that long, that's all I knew was music. And I did have aspirations to I definitely had ambition to be on TV, but I was just in bands for so long that's all I had was, I could do parodies of songs or of a style. The one that we did that you're talking about was like a parody of just like new wave music. The sketch was that there's a Super Bowl party. They're watching the Super Bowl and then they pause it because like let's let this new wave band play. So everyone's really upset, and it's really new wavy and
super new wavy,
kind of like Soft Cell or the Pet Shop Boys or something. But it's just all I knew, and just the same way that some people could talk about their families or whatever, or do impressions. For me, it was just music is like a crutch. It's like my only way in.
It's a big plus on SNL if you can weave in music into something. They love it.
Yeah,
but like your Sam Waterston is kind of musical.
Definitely.
It's extenuating him into these musical rhythms. That's a rim shot, and
he's like doing a speech. He's like performing for the court.
Yeah, but picking that out. It's like you're playing a cowbell.
It's one of those impressions where you don't know there's an impression, and then you do it, and everyone goes, "Oh, right, okay."
Yeah,
those are good because it's hard to break. It's hard to break ground in impressions and just come up with a new one.
But I think that Lorne is a really musical person. In fact, it's like it was like the first. Hello. It's
hello, Fred.
Hello, Dana. Hello.
Do you mean as an impression of him or as a person?
No, as a person. As a person, I think he's such a music fan that that's where it was easiest for me to connect with him as a person. So for me to talk to him about all the musical guests he's had on the shows.
Interesting.
It's such a quick, easy conversation to talk to him about all those music, which I love talking to him about, all the bands that he booked, and it's just easy. And he's into it. Like a lot of those were his decisions, booking a lot of those bands.
Fred, what do you think of Eagle Eye Cherry?
Should we do it? I don't know if the year, but
yeah, hello. I did. When I hosted, it was Eagle Eye Cherry, and I go, Marcy, why do I get? I mean, no offense, but I didn't know who that was. And then the next time I didn't, and they go, the formula is big host. We don't need a huge music act. I go, are you saying I'm a big host? They're like, well, in this situation, it's a little different. Wait, no. I like the first. I don't want to be the exception to the rule. No. So yeah, it's fun to have. I always wanted a big band, but
I remember when both of you hosted. Those were both really.
Did we do something with me, you, and Maya? And we were like. And we were dressed like very snooty, and I came to your house or something. And
yes, we were this design couple.
Yes,
like this Danish design. So we had all these chairs, and the whole joke
everything's
is like
uncomfortable.
The design of the chairs.
Yeah. God, I love Maya. Maya and I did a song too. Who cares? But back to Fred. Fred, you're going to get to talk toward the end of this. But
great.
I do have another sketch I like, Dana. I'm going to tell Fred just to boost his ego so he doesn't like zone out.
Have you ever had someone zone out?
A couple.
Yeah, we've a couple of. No, I don't think so.
We always have to scream at them for interrupting me and Dana talking when it's their show.
Mhm.
So you had one called Coat Check, but was that really cut? Is that really wasn't on air?
Yes, that's a Cecily Strong one.
That's a great one.
But they put it online, which is kind of the same thing.
Oh, it's
now.
great. I mean, I wish we had
It's-
fucking online. Oh my god.
I know.
Best
we wouldn't
of
have
dress?
thought about stuff getting. Can you
We
imagine?
used to joke about Best of Dress. Oh, that'll be on Best of Dress because it never gets on. But she was your girlfriend in it?
Yeah, it's so good. That is
Girlfriend.
such a
Wow.
good one.
Okay.
Eh.
Remember when she kept saying that? You go, hey, we're a couple now. She goes, couple. Wow. Okay.
It's so good.
That was
It
a
so
really
good.
weird one. And it was perfect
Yeah.
because it was pretty simple. And Dana, he kept asking for his coat. It's hard to explain. But
Yeah, I'm like, this is not my coat.
how
Does
does
this
that
look like
not
a coat
make
I would
it?
wear?
God damn.
You know
I
how
know.
it is. I mean,
But it seemed like it was working.
but I do feel like it made its way on. I mean,
Oh, well, the fact that I saw it, like, that's great. If anyone can just see it.
yeah, and I think they put it online the next day or something. So
That's cool.
It had its own life for sure, but it was brilliant.
Sometimes dresses are a little rough on the edges because you don't even know the fucking lines. You haven't done it since Thursday or something or Friday.
No, you don't.
And
yeah.
you're just doing it live. You're like, I rehearsed this once 2 days ago and we're already in front of a crowd. It's dress, but you're still like figuring it out and you're remembering the blocking and the air. You kind of go, okay, I know it a little better.
Yeah.
That's the fun of dress.
I like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, there are those times where you don't quite understand what's happening in the sketch. Like, what am I in this?
Yeah.
Do I have an accent halfway through?
I did a Jack Handy sketch with Robert Mitchum, and neither of us knew what the sketch was about. He was a beekeeper in the Himalayas or something. Jack Handy,
Did Jack Handy stay around for you guys or no?
No, he was gone already.
Have you heard about him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, also his
Deep thoughts.
work is amazing. That really stood the test of time.
It's almost like a fake guy. You hear deep thoughts of Jack Handy. People go, wait, is that a real guy?
That's what I thought when I got there. Oh, your camera went. David, your camera went dark.
I know, but
David,
I'm still
what
going.
are you doing?
Heather,
Did your
David.
I have
lights go
workmen
out?
up front. They probably cut through the fucking.
Oh, there you are. You're like fading in, but your sound is good.
Jeez, Heather,
Wow.
you made it worse.
Wow.
There you go.
There you go.
Felicito.
I didn't think that was possible.
You know what? Hashtag mansion probs.
Hey, Fred, what was your
Mansion problems.
your team stuff? What was your favorite? I know you had the Californians, which I was watching that maybe 3 weeks ago, and you came in and you did it so earnestly.
Yeah.
Your guy, and it just I don't know, that sketch really kills me. And you did others with.
Do you
other
remember?
people.
Do you remember the email I sent you, Dana?
I do. I still can't.
David, this is you're gonna like this.
Okay.
This is a good story, and I've told it before, but it's really good. The Californians. It's all about finding directions in LA. How everyone talks about directions, right?
Mm.
But I had seen Dana. I was with him, and we did a stand-up show in San Francisco. And Dana was telling me about his son. And he's telling me about his son. He's just like, it's hard to be mad at him because I think he got pulled over or something.
Yeah.
And he does this impression of his son and he goes, no, Dad, no, you don't.
Yeah.
And from that, as we were trying to do like a California accent, as we're writing the sketch, that kind of came up. It's like, no, Dad. And it's kind of the way that he talks is based on Dana's impression of his son.
That's unreal.
So I sent him an email before it aired. I was like, hey, just so you know, there's, we're going to do this sketch called The Californians. And it comes from your impression of your son. Will you do it? How was your son? Like, do it.
I've done different incarnations of it, actually.
But no,
I'm trying to think.
Dad.
But is this pretty much all we're going to do today? That's him in the Roman Colosseum. Why are you getting? I like it when young people now say, "Why are you being so extra?" That's the latest thing.
That's a good one.
Don't be so extra. That's such a beautiful use of language. But that, I guess, the arbitrariness of that, like I think Bill said you got on the soundstage and suddenly you were doing that guy, or was it in read through?
It was like a common. It was a bit also we would do at the table. You know that moment before you're actually reading the sketches.
Mm-hmm.
We did it like we would. Everyone goes to LA in the summer. So when we came back, we would just start talking like, where were you? Were you in, I was in LA. Like, did you go up Barham? Did you make a left on? And then that sort of, built up and built. Well, we kept doing it. And then I worked with this writer, James Anderson. And I was like, what do we do with this Californians? What can we do with these directions? And he was simply like, why don't we just make it a soap opera? And so
it's such an odd call though.
I know, but that's kind of like the magic of, this is so corny. It's the magic of working with writers that like, I never would have thought of that. And just to have someone say, let's make it a soap opera and then it's done. But,
for stand-ups who write their own material for, utterly. And when you get on SNL and suddenly somebody is handing you something and you go, wow, this is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just got handed to me. That was revelatory to me. Like, wow. Or taking your idea and greatly improving it. Like, oh, this is so much better.
Yes.
So it was exhilarating, really, to
you go
collaborate.
Knock on anyone's door and you go, will you read this once if you have a second? And they go, even Downey goes, you know what I might do is at the end, there's something funny about if you just don't ever say that. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. And then that's all you get. And then you go and you figure it out. But if they can give you anything, just fresh eyes, and they're all smart. So they're all thinking, what's the best for this? That's such a gift, man.
It's
hard
best
to get people to write with
and they
you.
care. They care about the piece being good.
Right.
So their advice is always the best advice.
Oh, I'd see them if you came off something that someone else had written and it worked. There was like a quick little party.
Yeah, they love
kind of
you.
backstage, like hugging. Oh man, crushed it! So that was a real high for them. And I didn't really realize till later that at least back then, at least half the writing staff wanted to be performing as well. They they were in the writer's box for a while, and then they like Bob Odenkirk,
Yeah.
And then he got out of that.
Yeah, they were both on ours.
Conan as well.
They'd write themselves in just little things, and it wouldn't seem to work. They would just, not that they weren't good, but they would be replaced. Maybe we had too many cast members, and it was very hard. It was because I was a feature player, very hard to get on. We had too many mouths to feed, and I think that's sort of the norm now, just too many.
How many were in your cast? You were in like
22.
different casts. I feel like you were.
Yeah, he was.
You like
overlapped
a
me.
bridge. Yeah.
It was tough when I got there because these guys everyone's a fucking, first ballot Hall of Famer, and so you got, you're gonna do something instead of Phil Hartman, no chance. Lovitz was even there for a little bit. Dana and Dennis Miller and Jan Hooks and Nora Dunn were both unreal.
God, they were great.
Myers. And then they influxed Farley and Sandler, and Schneider's a very good sketch guy, and
Chris Rock
and Tim Meadows. So, it's just not enough to go around. It's just, that's the way it is.
That's your memory of it as a viewer. I never thought of that. I was never like, David Spade isn't getting enough. I was always like, did you see the thing that he did on Update?
Yeah. All you need is something for them to remember. Yeah.
Yeah. True. And then that's like that's the main memory from it. Never did I think that.
And it's better to be in almost less than just make them try to work. Because I told Dana that the first show I came into, they brought you in a day early and to watch the show. And Lovitz was all depressed. He was only in 2 things. And he goes, well, Dana's in 6. And I said what you said. I said, I've never seen this show and thought someone was light.
Still.
I just think there's that guy I love. Oh, that's funny. He's in that.
Yeah.
Was never counting lines or sketches. And then when I got there, I fell right into it.
I preferred personally like to be in 2 things, maybe.
Totally.
Or a third as a supporting character.
Yeah.
But to shepherd a sketch, even one where you're kind of the executive producer of your sketch is very nice. That's why, and I was going to ask you about when you hosted SNL, the difference in that, because you have to really let it go. You're kind of have to prepare 13 or 14 sketches and then 6 or 8 get cut. So what was that like emotionally for you when you came back? You did 11 seasons at the time, as long as anybody, right?
Yeah.
Huge run.
Yeah.
And then you come back and host, and you come out and do your monologue, and they're screaming. It's surreal, isn't it? How did you feel about it?
I mean, I loved it so much. Like what a highlight in life, just in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the experience, of handing everything over, like I was still in the mode of like, oh man, I got to take care of all these sketches, make sure I write this much. And you're doing so much other stuff that everything is taken care of for you. So all these writers are coming up with stuff. I didn't even have time to think. And then it just turned out great on its own. So I really like that part of it, of just trusting everyone. And then that worked out.
And they're laser focused on you.
Yes. And they know you. They know what you like to do and what what's going to work.
It's such a big transition on the show when the audience starts to be familiar with you. And I don't know how many shows it takes, but you see people all the time who come on unknown, and then they turn it better. The audience goes, I like you, man or woman.
Yeah.
And then it gives you so much more confidence.
Yes.
Because you can feel that they're on your side already, as opposed to, is this guy going to make it, or is this woman going to make it on the show? And so when did you start to feel that? Like 4 years in, 3 years in?
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say like 3 or 4 years in. I did this judge, what was his name? Judge Seidlin or something. And something, he was like the Anna Nicole Smith judge,
Oh, yeah.
Something in there felt like I had to work less, meaning like I was like, oh, please like this. It felt a little more like I could come out on Update and it was okay. And you're right. Like there's a feeling of being familiar that I really liked. But something in there, I don't know, 3 years or something.
Yeah, that I think that's pretty typical. And when you were out there with your different bandmates, it seemed like you obviously had Garth and Kat with Kristen Wiig, who's supernatural sketch performer, and then you and Bill Hader, just to me, just had a symbiotic thing as well.
We did.
You just mixed really well. And was he someone new when you got out there and the band's playing? They're doing your tie or whatever it is, and you see Bill. He calms you down. I mean, where were you on the nerve scale?
I was kind of okay on the nerve scale. I don't know why. I just enjoyed it and had such a great time. But being with Bill really felt like I was really with my friend. Like we made each other laugh so much, and we just identified with each other, supported each other. There was something in that relationship where it just was really supportive and fun all the way. God, he made me laugh all the time. I mean, everybody did, but there was something with him that I felt like we were going through, I don't know, the same experience, being there.
Did you have a favorite writer?
James Anderson, because we wrote so much together. We just always ended up writing together. But
to have someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But but when you're there, I mean, there's so many people who are so prolific. I remember when I first got there, seeing Tina Fey's work ethic was incredible. That changed. Just to see how focused someone could be on writing without ego. That was like a real. I was like, that's the way to be. That's the way to be a writer. She was so good.
She can churn it out too.
She can just write great jokes, just one after the other.
Yeah, I don't know.
She has some kind of frequency that they come to her. She reminds me of Steve Martin in many ways. I don't know why. I just kind of put them together in some ways. They write great books, and they're intellectuals, but they don't wear it on their sleeve at all.
No, there's a humility to it.
Yeah,
but it's still effortless somehow. They just sit down, and then all of this stuff starts coming out. Week after week, I couldn't believe it. So she was. But everyone, Seth Meyers is also
great.
Sort of selfless and works really hard. Like he would just work throughout the whole night.
Were you hired as a writer performer?
No, I was
just feature player.
Just
feature player, but you know how it is. We write.
Sure,
anyway.
I'm just saying, because Dane and I, we asked people because I was a writer performer and I didn't want to be a writer, and they wanted me to be more than they wanted me to be a feature player. And Schneider, same thing, we hired together. But Dana was hired straight cast because he's such a home run hitter, but no writing. But that kind of sucks because everyone writes.
Yeah.
And so it's like, who decides? It's a weird decision to go, you're not a writer, especially feature, because you're just scrambling to get on. So you have to write an update or something. No one even knows you.
Yeah.
We just accepted it. I mean, it's really just the platform of being on SNL. If you were a main player, Phil did get a writing credit because he had written Pee Wee's Big Adventure with Pee Wee Herman.
Oh, bad apple.
But I never had a problem with it. But what one? Oh, yeah.
Remember when he goes, "I'm a bad apple, rotten to the core."
Oh yeah,
that was
Phil.
He was in jail all the time.
So, do you mind if we go back a minute and just talk about your drumming? Because I'm just a big fan of drummers, and I have favorite drummers, and I loved your special stand-up
for drummers.
For drummers, where you just go through at the Great American Music Hall in San Francisco.
Yeah.
You had all the kits set up, and you did all the styles.
Yeah,
it was so great. Did you get a lot of feedback from other musicians and drummers about how?
It's like exactly. First of all, thank you. That's very, very kind of you. And I love drumming so much. It's like the biggest part of my life, and that's how I got into showbiz or entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
I just still love watching drummers. I still love playing, and the things people have said to me, that was my goal. I was like, I just want something where like drummers can come up to me and feel like they're part of an inside joke, that they can have like a really heartfelt conversation about like, oh man, I'm a drummer and I know exactly what you're talking about, and that's really gratifying. And that whole thing with the drum kits was just like it visually looked cool, just to have all these old kits and go to the 80s. So it was,
and you go one
like
after the other
thing.
and play all these styles. I mean, it's such a singularity as a stand-up special. It's like completely its own thing.
But thank you.
I love the way you play. I just would call you just very musical. You have a heavy foot. You're very light on it. You're very organic with it. I just like to watch you play. Some drummers, you can kind of work with them a little bit. Like, are they going to make it? With you, I feel very relaxed. I mean,
wow, what a thing to say. That's so.
I just all sincere. I just wondered, the drummers that inspired you, stood out for you. I mean, Pepsi Coke. It was for my generation. With a friend of mine, it was Ringo Starr or Rolling Stones.
Charlie Watts.
Charlie Watts. Are you? I like you. Like, you have to be one or the other. You're either Charlie Watts or Ringo Starr. That was like back in the 70s. And who were some of your favorites?
My favorite, like the guy who like I really emulated was Clem Burke from Blondie. And the first time I ever saw him was on SNL.
Whoa.
And he dresses like in a little suit, like he looks like a mod. And his drum kit is set up like it's like this red sparkle kit, like very flat.
Yeah.
And so the aesthetics of how he was, I was like, that's a great way to be. So he's like my favorite drummer. But to your point, I love Ringo. I think everybody loves Ringo. I think there's like a myth that like there's some controversy about it.
He doesn't have a bad rap, right? He doesn't have rap. No. He's not good, right?
What's the myth?
No. The myth is sort of like, well, people talk about him like, he's actually a great drummer. Every drummer I know loves Ringo. Even privately, they'll go, no, those are expressive fills. He's great. Everyone loves him. Everyone loves him.
You put on She Loves You on YouTube, live remix, and the way he goes to the lower tom, I know he's a left-handed drummer, just this little fill.
Yeah.
Like, he did these little fills, and they were so electric, and he gets shinier and brighter, just like the whole band does.
Yeah.
For me personally, I think that it was such a wave that is still hitting the sand. We were trying to comprehend why and how that happened.
Yeah.
That much great music in 72 months with these four guys.
Yeah. He was perfect for them. And everyone knows that sound. Everyone knows, you can hear his drumming in your head when you think of any of their songs,
Yeah, he's stylized to the song.
Yeah.
So when you're playing with your bands, and you came up, kind of Devo, Clash.
Yeah. All that stuff.
That type of sound.
Yeah.
And what is the?
I'm doing Devo going.
And you're kind of probably a ride the pocket guy with some fills, or you just
no.
How would you describe your style?
Ride the pocket guy.
Ride the pocket is a
like fewer fill. There's this thing that happened.
Lingo alert.
Say again. You integrate the fills into the beat.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That in new wave and in punk, they had this thing where like they would do these busy beats, that were like that had toms in them,
Yeah.
you know, throughout.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a fill. It was just like
Yeah.
da, 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 bum, 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 bum. So the toms were in it without like a crash at the end of it. It was just like that's what the beat was, and that's how I learned. Alan Myers from Devo played like that. So yeah, it was just part of the beat. So, but it was all, none of it was complex time signatures. They were all 4/4. So I'm really into like 4 on the floor. Just keep the kick drum going. I like the simplicity of that. But yeah, it's like busy, but those aren't fills.
Can you play to a click track in a studio? Does it throw you or does it help you?
It helps. It's frustrating. I'm like, I actually don't think I'm great at tempo. I think I speed up. So sometimes I have to, and especially during the pandemic, there was like a lot of stuff that I had to do to a click, but now I'm used to it. So it's frustrating.
So for people who don't know, it's like that in your headphones, and on the 4th beat, you come in.
Yeah, and it sounds like this on the headphones.
Is it like looping?
It's just so that you don't lose the tempo.
Boop, boop, boop.
You know, Liederman over there at Seth.
Yes. He's like Liederman. The producer.
Do you find yourself drumming like if you're driving a car, or just drumming with your mouth?
Yeah, or tapping away
all the time, or tapping on your keyboard fingers, just doing a beat, stuff like that.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah, when you're driving,
I just love
and
rhythm.
Stuff.
Yeah.
What about you? Who's your favorite drummer?
I don't know. I think over time there is the most mesmerizing thing I watch a couple times a year. There's so many Buddy Rich solos. There's one, I think it's in black and white, but whatever. To me, his just technical skill is so mesmerizing.
Yeah.
And that solo that he does, and he did it over and over again, but it builds to a certain way, and he's got the snare going from super fast to like just down to nothing, and then right back again. And then he's doing all the fills and all the stuff. But you know, I was listening to Fleetwood Mac the other day because I have a car stereo that blows my mind. And I just go, man, I love Mick Fleetwood. He has a sound and a pocket that's so simple, but it really weights all that brilliant melody. So I go for the band. Yeah, it's so bassy. I mean, obviously John Bonham, everyone says him. I still don't understand him. I don't know where he got his sound, like his kick drum. The value of that with his snare blows my mind. You know, just the sound of it and how it was mic'd.
I know.
You know,
people keep trying to explain it. People keep trying to explain his style or how he got that sound, and I've heard so many different explanations. So I've heard people say, well, he's actually very jazzy and he plays lightly. It's the way he tuned his drums, and I have no idea. I'm the same. I have no idea how he got to be that way. Keith Moon, I love. Keith Moon, I could listen to forever.
Love Keith Moon. Just couldn't imagine anyone better. Who's next? The way he is so busy, but it's so part of the music. He's like a genius.
He's fun. It's fun to listen to him.
Playful and fun. Yeah.
David, I feel bad. We won't talk about drummers. I'm sorry.
Jesus.
Let's talk about Tinder and how to meet a gal. All right, David. I'm kidding.
I'm looking at his Google. Fear of heights, and he feels bad for everyone he's gone out with. I think I have one of those.
So are those your quotes?
These are quotes. Yeah.
Fear of heights and feel bad for him.
Not any. I feel less that way. I mean, that quote's from a while ago, so I feel less that way as time has gone on.
I feel like older. I'm not married, so I feel like I'm not nailing it somehow along the way.
That's not true. That doesn't have to be the end point, because some people do get married and it doesn't work out.
Yeah, I know.
So go easy on yourself on that.
I thank you, because it is tough, because it is, if you really think about it, it's very hard to sync that up perfectly. It's very hard.
But I would say that's true.
Yeah.
And Dana did it right. And that's why I got to deal with Dana, because he's had the same beautiful wife forever.
I was a terrible single person. I would feel so sorry, because no woman who wanted to be with me was carnal about it. If they wanted a boyfriend, he's cute, you know. And if I was there for other purposes, but I really enjoy being married. I like having a friend. You meld into each other. We're very. She listens to the podcast. So
yeah, she's our eyes and ears.
She's my confidant. like I run everything by her just because she knows me since 1979.
Oh, that's so nice.
You know, and she enjoys this podcast. And I go, really? Because I can't listen to myself bloviate. But Fred, can I? You're
bloviate.
You're an emotional character and you're a sensitive character. And I remember you, like we all are. We're clowns that are wounded, but whatever it came from. But I want to ask you first. You sent me an email after you left SNL, and you kind of said, "How do you process no longer being on the show?" Speak to that.
Yeah, because like I like the experience of being an ex-cast member because we all get to go back and do stuff. But you know, that feeling, because I used to, or still do, admire ex-cast members. I like how they go on to do other stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, there's something about that tradition, whatever it is, movies, other TV shows. I was like, what is that life like? And, you know, just seeing how Molly Shannon was afterwards, and she'd keep working on stuff. And then just watching your career, same thing. I was like, what does Dana Carvey do afterwards? And then every year there's a new feeling. Like, okay, I'm still kind of there. I know a lot of those cast members. Then I'm talking about SNL.
Yeah. Right.
Then
and then it just turns.
Couple more cast members. And in about 4 or 5 years, all of a sudden, it's all new people. And you start to see people you do not know. And so that feeling, that's what I was asking you about. I was like, what does that look like? What does that feel like? I kind of like it. But every year that goes is just like you're further and further away, you know, from like the actual, you know, the blood, the meat of the show.
Well, how about hosting when you don't know anyone? It's just so much different because you go, I wish I could host when I was on the show, and you go, I know how this thing works. I know how everyone is and be perfect. First time I hosted, I knew a few people. I think second time I didn't know one person. And then you feel scared, like, oh, I feel like a real host where, what does everyone do? Or who's that person? You know, people talking to me. I don't know if they're a cast member. I don't know if they're a writer. I don't know if they do.
How do you handle it, Fred?
Feel alone
when people or other performers or people come up and sort of, you know, tell you very, very flattering, sincere things. Like you're in that mode now. I'm sure if you run into cast members now somewhere, they would be, Fred Armisen, I got to tell you that sketch you did, and it's all a surreal circle, and it's still going. And the fact that we're part of the continuum is sort of where the gratitude comes in. But how do you handle people just, Fred Armisen, get out of town?
It's so nice. And people are really kind. People are so nice about it. They say all the right things. They remember all the sketches that I love. They love doing deep cuts. Someone will mention, you know, a dress rehearsal sketch. And, I love it because that's the way I was when, you know, I got to meet whoever, Chevy Chase, you know, whoever it is, Lorraine Newman. I'm the same way. So I like that. I like that tradition. And just people are cool. I don't know what it is.
When they get excited, it's nice. Also, they're while they're talking to you, they're figuring out other things you've done or other sketches. And they're like, you also did. Because when they walk away, they go, oh, I didn't even think that. But that's cool. Like I just saw your new new girlfriend sketch where you played Regina or something.
Yeah.
God damn, that was funny.
Also with James Anderson. That was like an intellectual. I just like, you know, someone. That's people who don't like to do small talk. Like every conversation has got to be deep.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
See, like that premise is just so great,
and it's well done. It's
rather than just church ladies out there. She's a religious nutball. No, it's fine. I mean, every era has its own style,
but just evolution,
own sensibility.
Like, once you get to SNL, even back when I was there, you're going, "Fuck, every sketch has been done." You think in your head,
right?
And then it's been 20 more years of just new sketches, but it's hard to crack the code. It's like writing a song. You go, "This is kind of like." That one they did. This is kind of, you know, it's hard.
I know. And the game of which cast was the best. And you forget all that. The current cast is always the best.
I agree. And also for every cast, there's always great enough people in it that you could pick out stuff that is, you know.
Yeah. That's
fantastic.
Brilliant.
And I still
have
watch
great writers. They still, I know Dan Buhl is a writer there. That's the only one I think I know, but these guys come up, I watch the sketches, even if somehow it doesn't work, I look at the writing and go, shit, man, that was a good idea. You know, or they did it pretty well, or there's still good stuff. And they probably get hammered right now about it. Like, cause like every present cast, people are mad because the old one's gone.
Yeah. But I watch all the time.
If you can do, like, you were kind of like a jazz player. I'm just using words loosely, but if you can do dry, smart stuff and make it kill with like huge laughs, that's always a real rush. There's some things are more rock and roll and more high energy and home bass and pushed, and some are kind of subtle and a little different. But when you hook the audience on SNL in one of those, it's really fun. I got it with Carson. It was a very, for my part in that sketch, was very dry. Did you have some favorites? Kind of. It's hard to ask people their favorites.
No, that's okay. I don't mind. Like
the way you envisioned it and the way it turned out. Like
I think because the thing is, like, as much as I could take credit for it, I got to give credit to Lorne. That's why it's easy to talk about.
We do too.
He's the guy who, on paper it looks like it's not going to work, and he's the guy who goes, let's put it on and see if it's going to work out. And for me, it was like this comedian I used to do on Update who had no punchlines. Like, he just would open up a newspaper and just point out the headline.
Can you do that on command? Could you do 10 seconds of it?
It's just kind of like, you pick up the New York Times.
He interrupts himself.
Yeah. And it's just him going like, look at this. The Congress is going to donate, it's going to have like $8 billion for the Ukraine. You can't. What? You can't. There's no, on any other day, if any of us, and he just keeps going until there's no, there's no punchline. It's just pointing things out and being outraged.
It's really funny.
Then another headline. Anyway, it sounds like I don't mean to pat myself on the back about it. I feel bad.
You gotta like some of them. Come on.
No, that's a skilled thing. If you try to do it yourself, it's difficult. It's
if
kind
you can
of
get
a
weird
skillful
bit like that and get it to work, it's fucking huge victory.
And the fact that they put it on Update, I just feel like there's no jokes in it, and then and
but we do give Lorne credit for stuff like you just said, that he will go for the really weird, dry things. Sometimes he likes the rock and roll things. He likes a mix. He likes big laughs, but he also, let's just see if it works. Everyone has a Lorne impression officially. What's your take?
I like doing the one. I like doing the one of like the warm greeting. So like if everyone comes out to dinner, there's this thing that he does where he sort of is super polite, and if he saw you, he'd say like, "Hello, Dana. Hello, David." Like a very warm. I like that.
That's a frequency I've not heard. That's Lorne. No, everyone always is doing this. No. That's an exaggeration of Lorne backpedaling because you misunderstood what he was saying.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that this and that. Yeah. Oh, you mean we shouldn't put it on? No. Don't misunderstand me.
No. And then you get them back. And
But you can't imagine SNL without Lorne. No. I just think he's he's obviously the linchpin sensibility wise. I think the Ivy League guys come in and they respect his intellect. They respect him as a smart person.
Yeah.
And he has that. And he also likes, stand-ups that kind of shoot for the fences.
Yeah.
Before we go, no, we don't have to wrap up because I'm having so much fun, but I always like to ask our guests 3 things.
Sure.
I like to put I'd like to put you at 8, 10, 11 years of age. So a toy, and if you don't have to answer, you don't have a toy that you remember that you really liked as a kid, a bicycle that you might have got, and any music or television show or film that really blew your mind. In those formative years.
So you're saying 8? Well, like what grade is that?
Well, I always say 5 to 12 is the formative years.
So like kids, like kids, being a little kid.
Yeah, I had Rock'em Sock'em Robots to get you started. That they didn't last long, but that really blew my mind. Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
I would say I think I really liked. I had like $6 Million Man action figure.
Yeah,
and
there you go.
It had so many details to it. Like you could add so much to it.
Yeah.
Oh, like you put on little helmets. And stuff.
Yeah, little helmets.
It's like
and then like
the eye.
And the eye. You know exactly what I'm talking about. The eye, you could look through the eye and it sort of like blinked. It had like it didn't have a light, but like a sort of lens. And then if you rolled off his skin, off of his left arm, there's the mechanics of his bionic arm.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
it was really cool.
And you were like,
it
10,
took a lot
probably.
of imagination because it looks cool, but it doesn't really do much. So you've got to kind of make your own scenarios in your head, which is good.
Would you put it in dirt and stuff and make a little trench?
It would be like a little, I don't know, like a rocket ship or some rocket he was in, I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Some vehicle of some kind. So there were a lot of things you could get for it that I really liked. Bicycle, I had like I'm thinking of the word Apollo. I had an Apollo something, like a yellow one with like a banana seat.
Seat, yeah.
I grew up in the suburbs of New York, and I remember endlessly riding with my friends. And I was really young, but there was no sense of like, hey, be careful.
None.
You tell us where it was just
not a helmet in sight.
Nothing.
No
we could
helmet.
have gone, main streets like with traffic, and me and my friends would just ride around and forever. All afternoon.
Not even be careful. Nothing.
Oh,
Nothing.
Yeah, and wipeouts, you just had to get home like squeak, squeak, squeak. Your legs bleeding.
Yeah.
Was it, if you can look back at in a sense memory way, when you had I had a Stingray, kind of a knockoff, but you get on your bike and Saturday morning and you start going and the wind in your hair and you're pedaling this bike. And then if you go shoot hoops or run around a park or a school, your bike's just tilted over and you go and you get your bike with your friends. It's just sort of magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then the aimlessness of it, like also being with your friends and you're just,
going up hills and yeah.
That's it. Just like laughing with them.
When it's not a school day and you've got the whole day to do anything.
So it's getting dark. I remember the getting dark part. That's kind of like, all of a sudden it's like there's no lights and your friends look different in the light. You
got to get home. You're supposed to get home and it's getting darker and darker. Yeah.
The best. It's funny that there's dirt involved. I feel like there's a lot of dirt, like fields.
Dirt
and
Yeah, a park where there was mud. Someone made a little dirt jump. You'd go
I could do a
over
wheelie. I could do a wheelie for like a quarter mile. I had a
if you had that loot, like kind of a very light chain.
I had a great
heavy back.
I had a
tire.
BMX bike. So once I got up, I was a skateboarder too. I don't know if that helped, but I could do a goddamn wheelie, and I thought I was King Cock. I had medium dick energy.
King Cock, was that a doll that you had too? And when you were 10, like
King Cock. That would have been a great doll.
So Fred, also just I like either TV shows or movies that blew your mind between ages 8 and 12, whatever.
I don't know if this was 8 and 12. I think it might be.
It could be 13. There's no hard. This is just a conversation starter.
For some reason, Planet of the Apes jumps out at me as like of like the idea that like I thought about Planet of the Apes all the time. So there was the movie, but there was still this sort of still like in my head. I'd be like, wow, the Statue of Liberty, and they took over, and there were these intelligent
dude. When you saw the Statue of Liberty at the end, were you like, what the? That was unreal. I was like this. No way! Where are they?
I know. Rod Serling, I guess, came up with that. Did you notice after the spaceship crashed that they walked across the desert for like 20 minutes having philosophical arguments? Charlton Heston and the two astronauts, and then they reveal the monkeys riding horses.
Yeah, with the nets, and they're all grabbing
with
them
the nets and the music.
Yeah.
That was Bill Hader, your bandmate. He mentioned his one was Taxi Driver.
What?
As the movie that blew his mind. He saw it when he was young. I mean,
I did not.
Very dark. No, I saw it.
No,
when
I was a grown up. I was a grown up already.
I wouldn't understand how crazy that was. I didn't. It made me scared or sad or something.
Yeah,
Bill would have been like 10 years old or something. But he always,
I was like powder, I'm like very sensitive, so I couldn't handle those movies.
Yeah, I saw Taxi Driver. I can't blew my mind. No,
that's Bill Hader.
Yeah,
I know.
No, I don't know.
His voice is so interesting, and then he went into a Daniel Day-Lewis in. There Will Be Blood. His voice was so transformed because his speaking voice, wouldn't imagine he'd have such a range that he has.
Yeah, because he goes kind of like, it's really basic.
Hey, how are you? And
this is my son and partner HW.
It's
not enough that I shoot. But now what about
what do you think goes on in Bill's skull? Like why can he do that? Like why can he do that with his voice? that he can go that deep, but he
Mhm.
talks up here.
Yeah. That's unique. I think that's kind of unique.
That's
I
a
don't-
real
yeah.
physical. It's like it's talent, but there's something physical going on.
Like something's
Yeah.
wrong with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he can go into Howard Stern like really deep. Yeah, like he goes
Yeah.
really basic.
I found that really hard, and I found which a guy you did too, Obama, difficult for a long
your
time
Obama
because
is
of the
great.
basiness. But I finally got it. That's what we got to do. The thing about Obama, you got to stay calm. We're going to be fine. There's no reason to panic. No one's got to do a thing. So I finally do them now, and now I feel like I got them. But back in the day, it was like so down here.
We didn't know
which
him
is
as
very
well, or I guess.
No,
you know.
when I first 4 years I did him, didn't work at all. Even his second term, a little more, but I can do him now, and everyone.
Yeah.
He's successful. We love him. He's no drama Obama. So he's just, to me, he's just
No
the
drama
coolest guy.
Obama.
That's what he was.
Save the drama for Obama.
Did you watch any for music? Since you're a musician, one last question: what was your first like record you bought or the love?
Wait, you mean as a little kid?
As a little kid, I bought. Do you want to know a secret? As a 45 in
You
1960.
did?
Yeah, because I Want to Hold Your Hand was sold out. Yeah, it was. Do you want to know a secret? And I don't know if it's Please Please Me. I don't know. Anyway, 45.
Please,
Yeah. Mhm.
Wait.
Listen.
Where,
Do you want to know a secret? Do. Early Beatles.
where did you grow up?
I from Montana, but I grew up in the peninsula, San Carlos, 20 miles south of San Francisco. And the Beatles came on Ed Sullivan, and I went down to this little record store. I must have stole some quarters from my dad's pants. Right? I don't know where I got. I think it was 50 cents for a 45. And I remember I was disappointed because I Want to Hold Your Hand, and I saw her standing there. But I had 3 older brothers, so they probably had them already. I don't know why.
I just picture you.
For you,
I picture you buying LPs for some reason.
Later, yeah. In the very beginning, we were buying both, but all of us were buying albums later, and my brothers were. They were older than me. So, but in the beginning, it was a 45.
Wow,
kind of hip. I know. I'm so old, Fred. I'm really.
Fred, you wouldn't believe it, Fred.
I go way back. Don't let this face fool you.
Wow. So you were getting 45s.
In early days, and I bought the Beach Boy album with my brother, and we had a band called the Surfers, and my kick drum was a clothes hamper, and my Hardy Boys book was my snare drum, and I stole drumsticks from Mickey Hart's drum store, the guy who was in the Grateful Dead.
Wow.
Yeah. Welcome to my podcast.
Yeah.
But when did you get? What's your first drum set, by the way?
Like a weird mix. I think a Japanese made. Sort of, I think it was like a knockoff of a Gretsch. So it had that sort of, pearl inlay to it, but it was like fake and cheap. But it was great. I loved it. I loved my kit. It was like we got it used. My dad got it for me. And first record, I think my parents got me The Candyman by Sammy Davis Jr.
Great. Oh, really? Oh,
yeah. That's like the first memory of like. I mean, I think I was really little, but I think
Candyman.
That's a great one, though.
Yeah,
very.
It is great. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Sammy Davis was genius. There's a documentary on him. Such a great drummer and great tap dancer. Talk about
entertainer,
rhythm.
And then my parents would get me Beatles albums during the 70s. Like they were already broken up, but then I'd get solo albums and stuff like that. I remember
which one rocked your world?
Ram.
Yeah.
Paul McCartney.
Ram.
Ram that's my favorite album ever.
Really?
That's a masterpiece.
What
I love that album.
Yeah, it is brilliant. That is probably his best solo.
McCartney?
I think he had gems on every album.
I don't even know Ram, and I love McCartney. That's how much.
It's this 1971 album that blew my mind. I still listen to it. It's like a weird, like countryish hippie, kind of, it's an experimental album, I would say.
And he won't play those on his tour, right?
No,
He's shy about it.
I don't think I've ever heard one song from that album.
Are you familiar with Arrow Right Through Me from Back to the Egg?
I think that's.
Ooh,
I
baby.
It's one of his best songs because that horn part,
cool.
the horn part at the end is insane.
Wow, this is making my day, Fred.
Because it turns around weird, like it doesn't land on the.
Yeah,
Arrow Through Me. God, it's so good.
Oh, God, Fred, you made my day. Someone else knows Back to the Egg and Arrow Right Through Me.
Come on.
Jeez, that's awesome. This is the greatest podcast ever. Anyway, Fred, we love you. We just say that now. I'm old enough now. I just say I love you to grown men.
I love the both of you. I admire the both of you. I look up to both of you, and I love hanging out with you guys. And
thank you for chatting, buddy. It's a lot of laughs.
And let's have a lazy dinner one of these nights in LA somewhere.
Yes.
We'll run into you at Largo.
Yeah, I feel like both of you, I feel like we do run into each other once in a while.
I bet we get along.
Through Largo,
Yeah.
and this sushi restaurant we go to right near Largo.
I like
that's
you
very
never
dark
say
and
it. It
quiet.
doesn't matter.
Well, I don't know if I'm supposed to say it. There's no one there. If you go with Sandler or Conan, there's nobody on the street with cameras.
Yeah.
It's just very
it's
mellow. Good. Great place to have a conversation and hang out. So
Fred will go and Dana will buy.
Okay. Please do.
That's fair.
ooh, baby.
Thank you, Fred.
Love it.
And you did the horn part at the end. Anyway.
I love that part. Yeah.
So much fun, Fred.
Thanks for asking me to do this.
This was awesome.
All right.
Likewise.
Love you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Hey, what's up, flies? What's up, fleas? What's up, people that listen? We want to hear from you and your dumb questions.
Questions, ask us anything. Anything you want.
You can email us at flyonthewall@cadence13.com.
This is from Chris Height. Question for us. Thank you, Chris. If an SNL bit is cut from the show or is passed up, can you resubmit it the next week?
This is a good question because this, thank you, Chris. You know what it is? The truth is, you've got to be careful when you submit because if it doesn't get on, it's got a stink on it. And it just loses about 30% of its punch for the next time because a resubmit, what they call it, are you resubmitting this? It's already got a negative connotation. I did Receptionist. I don't think it got on. Oh, because David Bowie.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And so I resubmitted it, but got it on with MC Hammer, and then I got on with Roseanne. But
he's kind of talking about, did you get cut from the show or just didn't get it on?
No,
the
it
show?
got laughs. Actually, it was different. It got on and made it through read-through, and then David Bowie wanted to switch parts with me. And that's when I said, I don't think I can, and then it dropped.
Yeah.
Rough. So I
Ground
resubmitted.
control to Mr. Spade.
Called me in the hotel room. I called him.
God. These are the things of SNL, honestly. Just when I hear David, he taught me how to do this dance move one night in New York with Dennis and John Bowie.
Oh, right.
He is, I don't know. I say no one cooler than David Bowie was.
Fucking hey, what a stud.
Nobody cool. Just such an artist.
And was pretty fucking cool, dude. Like, gave everyone
very
a minute.
Nice, charming.
Liked comedy.
Oh, yeah.
Was at my Young Comedian special, not because of me, but he was in the audience.
Really? That would make me nervous.
I don't want fucking bananas.
Gandhi's in the second row. How do you feel about
He's
that?
like, I like that. Rob Schneider. Schneider was on it with me.
Oh.
Drake Sather, Jan Karam. We had a fucking big Stoller. We had a great run there with Dennis hosting. This next fucking kid.
Schneider.
What am I, Glico? Dennis was the host. And Bowie's
okay,
in the
this
crowd.
next guy, okay.
And Schneider.
Some people think he's funny. Let's see if it's true or not.
This ties into Schneider. He was there. We got the HBO special that got seen by Lauren's office.
If something's cut from a show and you resubmit it, change it or recast it to give it. If a new host comes in, I think Cowbell might have been cut or didn't make it until Walken came and made history. I got it. A fever. More Cowbell.
That's probably a top 10 sketch.
Yeah, I think, that's...
and so, resubmissions are tough, but eventually, hopefully they get... I actually wrote in when Seinfeld's the host, McCartney coming in as a receptionist show, and it didn't get on, so they didn't even give it to him. You know what I mean? It has to get on first, then they go to him and say, "Will you do it?" But it didn't get on. So, you guys, thank you for your questions.
Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser. He is I met him first during Dickie Roberts, the movie, and we asked him to come in and do a day or two and play himself, and he did.
That was nice.
And he was super cool, and he's a huge star.
Huge.
He's always been a rep of being a cool dude. He's that was the height of his fame. He came over and did us a favor. We got to chat with him, and there's so much going on with Brendan. Plus, just give some of the movies. I mean,
you really. When he was 23, I believe he started in Encino Man.
That was probably
playing
the one
a frozen caveman.
Broke through. And,
so then he was just
huge hit.
In the 90s, he was doing George of the Jungle, the Mummy trilogies. He's had this incredible career, and then for different things we'll talk about, he sort of went away for a little while, and then he came back. I saw him on the Showtime show, The Affair, and he was great in that. And I hadn't seen him in a while. I go, damn, he's a great actor. And then recently, as everybody knows, he's done a movie called The Whale, in which he plays a 600-pound man. So there's sort of all things Brendan these days, and people are just really happy to see him back. Such a likable
Yeah, it's like
guy.
it's nice to see everyone pulling for someone, and he doesn't really need pulling for. I don't think that's what he's asking for, but it's just nice to see someone that's a good dude. Every career is up and down, and to still be killing it, and to know he's always probably knows he's good. It's the opportunities. That's for everybody. You just don't always get opportunities.
Oh yeah, totally. So he's back, and it was I think it was Lauren or Bernie that always said, the talent doesn't go away. So your career can go like this, but the talent doesn't go away.
We're gonna ask him about standing ovations. They go to Cannes Film Festival. He got a 12-minute standing ovation. I go, do people feel dumb after a while?
Do you ever use the bathroom in the middle of standing ovation? Okay, I'll be back.
I'd be texting with one hand. How long can you go like this and you go like a bunch of seals? But we'll get into that because there's a 6-minute one he had at Palm Springs and he had an 8-minute one. I'm like,
so first they stand and it's like 20 seconds, and then it's like that festival hears about it, and then 2 years later it's like longer than the movies.
Yeah.
But the French love to do that. You know the French.
We'll do a deep dive into that. We won't tell you about The Whale. We'll talk to him about it, so you can wait for that. And but what a movie! And here he is, Brendan Fraser. No one hates us, but we do.
So this is, obviously new show business that we don't really even talk. We never had a plan. We just put the mic on and start talking to people connected to SNL in some way. Yeah. And, so it's weird that this is a job.
Blip on his whole resume.
Oh,
Sometimes it's the main thing.
Look at our notes. Do you have any questions, first of all?
He won't show me his notes.
No, I won't, because mine are better than Dana's. But
do you have any questions of us? Because we're
I was just
narcissists.
asking Greg who your sponsors are, because I'm just interested in how podcasts
A lot of
work.
this
is new for me.
A lot of HelloFresh.
Nice.
A lot of companies that basically say, we'll do the work for you digitally. Like, ZipRecruiter would be one of them. We'll help you hire people.
Right.
ZocDoc, we'll help you find a doctor.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
We keep this. ZocDoc. Jack. Sorry. But they're going to love this part of the podcast.
DraftKings.
This is,
this
is free advertising.
I'm already kissing ass.
What's our favorite? We don't have a favorite. Masterclass.
No, it's good that they do it
Masterclass.
because...
Which you should teach.
Oh, you should teach a masterclass.
In what?
Brilliant acting. Duh. We both saw The Whale. I'm still recovering.
We both saw it. I didn't see it all. I got to the part where you got out to the ocean, and then I didn't see it.
It clicked out? Oh, shit.
No, I'm kidding. I saw it.
Okay.
I saw it, and it kept cutting off because they give you 18 minutes to watch it, and so it gives you little bits.
Oh, really? No, mine was perfect.
You know how screeners work?
Yeah.
There's someone on the other end.
I pressed a button. I had on a beautiful laptop, stereo speakers, and I went downtown. And it was amazing.
Well, listen, if we're going to talk about The Whale, we're
going to save it for people listening right now. Want to hear about Brendan's thoughts about The Whale? It's coming up soon.
Okay, we can save that because I want to talk about it a lot.
That's a teaser. I'm learning.
I'm still shaken by it. Okay, we'll do a little SNL. Let's just ask him a couple quick questions. because we have to fake like that's what this whole thing is about.
Well, no. I want to talk about SNL as a part of his whole thing because I was fascinated as I did a deep dive. Is how I hadn't seen anybody do the broad comedies and then can do the offbeat leading man funny guy like the Mummy stuff and back and forth. You're doing George of the Jungle and then you're doing Gods and Monsters. It's like there's a pattern here. I've had to have a theme. I have a theme for every podcast. Yours is like the seeds of you being this renowned, brilliant actor. It's almost like you're just starting now, I would say. Because you set the seed for it by constantly dipping your toes into it between these franchises that is so iconic. Anyway, that's all I have to say. I'll be quiet.
Okay, good night. Thanks, folks.
I think his pattern is there's no pattern. How about that?
Interesting.
Because, like, let's say someone like me who gets into comedy, you're lucky enough to just get comedies. And so if you were, let's say Encino Man was maybe one of the first things that sort of blew up for you.
That was.
Which is a comedy. You think that's all you would get offered and people tell me, oh, you should do more movies like Uncut Gems. I'm like, well, everyone should. I mean, that's just not how it works.
Yeah, do the Academy Award winning level movies. Those are the good ones.
Again?
Yeah. But then you went to School Ties from Encino Man.
Yes.
With Matt Damon.
Correction. It was the other way around. School Ties was shot first.
And then you went to Encino Man. Who were
the
your
release
agents?
dates were flip-flopped.
Wait, so you...
So I didn't work with them anymore longer.
This brilliant drama, and then you went with this broad comedy, or whatever you want to call it, a full-blown comedy.
A straight ahead teen comedy genre that I don't know if it's really being done that way anymore. You know, kids go to high school, have a big discovery, throw a party.
Not.
That's
my sons who are basically 30, I'll just round them off, that you're so much a big part of their childhood, and they miss just big, funny comedies that just exist to be funny.
Maybe people are scared to step in it because you got to dodge so many types of jokes, you know?
That's really your domain and expertise.
Yeah, and that's the hard part. They start pulling stuff and cutting stuff, and you just lose something. Maybe those days are over forever, but it's just like anything. You just like Madonna. You got to figure out a different way to make a comedy that's still big and funny.
I think they can come back. I think there's an appetite for it.
Yeah, I think there's a huge appetite.
Because it just releases all the cultural stuff that's going on, and you just laugh. You know.
So I had a question.
Wait,
you did
we're
Ties.
not going to let you talk.
No,
so
I'm
just
asking.
so you know.
He warned me. I'd have to fight for my time.
I warned him ahead of time.
He's gonna.
But we're slowing down because we're shot out of a cannon because we just saw the movie. So
well, I was gonna. Yeah, I was deeply napping in a full on dream, and he said. He's here. No, I'm kidding. No, but I live close by.
No, I said, get over here, prick.
I said, who? He said, Brendan.
So the School Ties is sort of a heavy drama, right? So you get that. Now, is it because of some sort of feedback or buzz from that you, when you go for Encino Man, that helps that because you've got one in the can that people like? Sometimes that's how it works. You know?
Chronologically, I went into Made for Encino Man before I got hired to do School Ties.
Wow.
And I was reticent to do Encino Man because it was too kooky and I wanted to, step out as a very serious actor straight out of college with my BFA in my back pocket and a lot of aspiration. And I understood that the character is basically the new guy in town, which was something that they hadn't seen anyone bring in to the readings or the auditions before that they really wanted because he's a fish out of water. He's trying to fit in, all that. But it was so broad and I didn't really know anything about film or comedy. And then School Ties came down the pike and I read for that. Did nothing with it because it didn't go anywhere. They were casting at DriftNet to find their David, as I learned. And then a number of months later, they came back to with a new casting director who had me go in and read for Sherry. And they did a screen test. And I thought when they said, do you want to test? I was thinking exams and something. That's how green I was. Got the job. And that was great. I read with Matt Damon and met a lot of the other guys who were already hired. Was off to Boston and Massachusetts to shoot School Ties and was getting messages from Encino Man and with George Saloom and Les Mayfield were quite driven to get me to come on board. And then partway through almost finishing School Ties, I was having a conversation with a really great guy who was called Keith Wester. He's not with us anymore. He was a soundboard mixer, and he had a great voice, and he was always mixing sound, but he was on his own radio show in a way as he was reading. He was really a charming guy, and he was mentoring a lot of us. And I was talking about, what are you doing? And I was conflicted and very serious, and got this comedy thing they want me to do, and they've offered it to me. And he said, well, hang on, there's this, it's a drama, and you got a comedy. It's not a bad thing to have, as he said, he joked about it. A bird in the hand is worth two in the nest. Is that the
Bush? I think
idiom?
Bush
was near ahead, and
I just realized my voice is so loud compared to Brent. I'm screaming.
I'll sit up.
He's very quiet.
Well, can I say something? I saw an electromagnetic visual thing around your mic. Maybe it's your charisma. But
I'm sorry. There's a flash feature on my phone.
It just went zzz. Yeah,
it went swoosh. So
Greg Holtzman.
Quite annoying.
Heather.
I'll turn that off. I don't want to be that guy. So.
Well, I didn't want anyone to get electrocuted during our podcast.
It's my own lighting feature. When I say something interesting,
he's got a light that lights
this
him
guy has
on
charisma. It's like there's a lightning. But by the way, you had to, when you read the script for School Ties, it was the first time you had to not have clothes on and act. So I saw you had to have a fist fight with Matt Damon in a shower.
Yeah.
When you read that in a script, are you like, okay, or I can't wait for that day?
Well, you don't look forward to it, but I understood what the scene was about, was exposing one another's prejudice and all its
it was
naked
incredibly
aggression.
potent. Yeah.
And so it kind of drives the point home.
Yeah.
And 17-year-old boys fight. So to get the lock it, let's figure this out with our fists.
It's interesting. I don't want to interject, but I like to interrupt David.
Yeah.
These people throughout your life, anybody, could be a parent, brother, friend, who'll say these casual things that kind of tilt you in one direction or another. We could all have stories about that. So this one guy said this thing to you, which made you, I'm going to go do Encino Man, or it tilted you that way.
It helped me make up my decision, because his point was, if you're new to the industry, your calling card will be, I can do something dramatic. I can
do it all. Yeah.
Comedy, tragedy. You can do
you don't get that off. You don't get that chance a lot. So you have a chance before the one comes out. You're like, I can do the other one. And then now you can get hired for two different kinds of movies.
That was the hope then. So,
yeah. And by the way, Encino Man is a good movie you can do wrong. Like that.
No, it was
that
really
reading it. He was great at it. I remember seeing it back then. I think Paulie was in it with you.
Correct.
And Paulie was funny and crazy, and but you were charming. He's good looking, but you're making a lot out of this that could have gone the wrong way. You know what I mean? It could have been so dumb, but it was a huge hit, and that was great, and it was fun. I remember watching it back in the day.
Thanks, Dave.
And that kind of launched you. I remember my first audition was for a movie called I wrote it down. It was one
George
with
of the Jungle?
Dead Poets Society.
Oh yeah,
wasn't that around the same?
Prior to that, I remember. Yeah.
Like 89.
88, 89. I was in college then.
Yeah.
So what did you say about it?
I just remember that film was coming out and it was being promoted, and I was seeing a young Ethan Hawke and the cast on Oprah, I think it was, to do press for it. So it was prior to, and you did movie anything in my.
Yeah, I did a couple auditions and didn't quite make the cut. So from George, I'm not George Jungle. You have so many in here, goddamn.
Yeah, there's so many. But I just want to interject this too, because is that you said that your dramatic training, so you're doing some of these movies and you're just totally committed, like as a dramatic actor, essentially, when you're doing even Encino Man.
Yeah.
You're not thinking comedy, you're just playing the truth of the scene.
I don't know how to think comedy. Yeah. I think I'm the least funny person I know. And so
I saw some pretty funny shit on it.
But my approach, it's a risk calling comedy anyway, but my understanding or approach is that if you think you're funny, you're not.
Yeah.
And if you
try to be funny, for sure you're not.
So play it as a straight ahead reality, right?
Yeah. And on SNL, when the host would come in and sit down in that first Monday meeting and say, "Good news, guys, I'm funny." We'd all go, "Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
I know how to do it.
I was shocked.
I know all the rules of comedy. You say
that.
3 things. And you go, oh, boy.
I just made a joke. It wasn't Christopher Walken.
No, he said the Bears.
I know how to be funny. No.
He's great.
But one gear that you did have also in these 90 comedies is that and I find it really interesting that you could make your face like super leading man, handsome. And then you could go to a grin that would just go a certain way that made you kind of funny, or you could take the handsomest way and be the goofy leading man. It was really interesting to watch that, some of your stuff. Was that intentional, or just you were just thinking it? I'm sure you weren't making a face, but you could actually had a chameleon aspect. Is that chameleon?
Well, I think you shouldn't take yourself too seriously.
Yeah.
Maybe it comes from that.
Yeah. And I think if you're having fun internally, I do think with comedy it helps. Even doesn't mean you're mugging, pushing, trying to be funny, but you're feeling a sense of fun.
Likeable is half of the battle too.
Anthony Hopkins, a Tony to me, told me once that he thought acting at the top level is a form of self-hypnosis. He would, as you probably have heard, he only reads the script 200 times.
Wow.
And he has a Polaroid in those days. I know you're a huge Polaroid camera person. He had a Polaroid picture of his character, and they'd yell Speed. He'd put it up, look at it, put it on his face, and go, "What?" And then put it in his pocket, and then he was the guy.
Are you sure? You're not making that up for...
No, it was Tony Hoppy.
Oh,
whatever.
Tony.
He would
Yeah.
huff a Polaroid picture of himself and then play the character?
Yeah. He
Wow.
would look
Whatever
at it.
works, man.
Speed, we're
Yeah,
rolling.
exactly. Whatever
then
works.
he'd breathe it. And he said, I think it's sort of, I always do Robin Williams when I do Anthony Hopkins. They're both incredibly shy. His charisma is like this, But this, we'll go to The Whale in a minute, but it's hard to act.
A point I wanted to make about something else I learned, I got this from Lauren, was before I did my first monologue when I hosted SNL, that moment before it wasn't broadcast, it would have been the rehearsal.
Dress,
Yeah.
Thank you. He came out and he has a little chat with the host. I was told, Lauren's going to have a word with you. All he said to me was, it's all about confidence. And he turned on his heel and we went to shoot it. Went to air.
Wow.
That's what he told me. I mean, I didn't know if he was telling me be confident or don't try and be funny, but essentially it's just about taking ownership of what you're doing and committing to it. I think that let me know a lot about pretty much everything else about, again, knowing you're there for a good reason. You're good at what you do. You like what you do. And if people don't laugh at what you're doing, then just move on to whatever is next.
Yeah.
Well, I felt when I watched the 97 monologue, you were very confident.
Thanks.
But then when I watched 99, there was a whole other level of relaxation because you'd already done it once before. Nothing defeats that. You went in and you found Tom Davis in the room. It's like Tom Davis was still living on the set. And it was really, really funny.
He was there when I was there. What about, when did Airheads come along?
95?
95. So I was hearing you talk about that on some,
With
round
Sandler.
table. With Sandler. I didn't even put that together. I was like, what's that?
I
was jealous.
Whenever he's mentioned, I try to do that just under my breath.
Yeah.
He's listening, trust me.
So, by the way, listen to this, Dan. So it's Adam was asking you, or you guys are kind of bullshitting about Airheads, and then Adam goes, and Farley was on it. He was on for 2 weeks. He did a lot of night shoots, and it was probably the most fun I've had on any set. I'm sorry, were you in Grown Ups, Adam?
Traitor.
No, it was very traitorish, and you agree. I'm glad you agree. And Grown Ups 2 also. He could have picked either one. But I remember Airheads, and I was jealous. I think Bob Simons did that movie. I think it came along.
Yeah.
And you were shooting down. It was in New York, some of it. There was some inside stuff, and I would came to watch. I don't think I knew you, but I knew Adam and Farley and Buscemi I just met. So that one kind of was a fun one, too. It didn't do great, but another fun comedy one, right?
It's come around. I do a lot of fan conventions now, and people show up dressed like Chaz Darby and the characters.
Oh, yeah.
The posters to sign. They scream, if it's too loud, you're too old.
Yeah.
They're flipping you off.
Double barrel flip off. And you just get them right back. Oh, I love you, bro.
You know what? I think it's really fun when you get a movie that lives on, because sometimes movies do well and you never hear from them again, and then some sort of live on, and it's good to have the ones that live
I think it resurges because it's nostalgia
Yeah.
for a whole new generation.
I did one called PCU, and then people go, "Oh, PCU is
I
great."
remember
I
PCU.
didn't love it, but I go, "Oh yeah, okay. Hey, listen, if there's people that get into it and forever, and it's kind of timely again now because politically correct and all that stuff."
Right.
Some of my movies were buried in Nevada in a mine.
In a
And
silo.
then
If you could have saved Clean Slate, you could have played that baby. But
they would test
boy.
nuclear bombs and just do it because they wanted to blow that movie up.
People still like Wayne's World. Come on, you guys.
Yeah, Wayne's World.
Favorite of
Who are we
mine.
kidding?
Dana.
Let's talk about Superman. I just heard that. That can be a quick story, but
Oh,
Superman. What was the era of Superman? Was that an audition or was that a meeting or how does that work?
that would have been in the year 2002. It was on the Warner Brothers lot. They were looking for a new Superman, and I think there were like 5 or 6 guys around town who were being juggled, their names juggled around.
Sure.
There was a test deal, same thrill.
Oh,
come
test
in.
deal, what?
Yeah, I went in on the Fox or the Warner Brother lot, put on the outfit. No, first I went into an office somewhere in Wilshire Corridor, and they locked me in a room with a script that was printed on crimson paper with black ink. Could hardly read it, but you can't photocopy it either by stealing it.
Oh, okay.
And I could read it and give it back to them, and then they
For a Superman movie.
I could know the story.
Okay.
So was it since Christopher Reeve? This is like the first Superman back?
I
oh,
don't
no, it'd be way
think
later
so.
than that.
Yeah.
I think Reeves might have done the third one in the 80s. So,
Right.
Brandon Ruth played the part.
That's
He
what
got the
ultimately
job.
got your part.
okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, it's his, but I mean, I was an aspirant for sure. And there was a screen test.
How did you talk as Superman? I mean, did you kind of lower even? You have a pretty deep voice, but did you?
I didn't want to put quotation marks around anything,
Yeah,
and
so
I
did you
didn't
just
pretend
play
to be
yourself?
Superman. I tried to, get back and think of it. Well, the script that was written was like, it was like heightened text. It was
Yeah.
like,
They seem like that.
Dramatic.
had a gabbler or like big stuff that you would have done iambic pentameter Shakespeare and all classic text.
Yeah.
And so I gave that kind of approach of just taking everything seriously and playing big objectives and
Yeah.
and just trying to approach the piece as if it was a giant opera in space. And,
Did you have any lines like "Lex Luthor, you're an idiot"?
close.
Some bitch.
Close.
Tizor was his name. I was bellowing, Tizor! Like, I'll kill you, Tizor!
I would have done it as Super Encino, man.
Gee, I would have loved that. Tizor, change your name, bitch.
Yeah, was Zod in one of those, or am I crazy?
Zion, I
No,
love
Zod. There's a woman
Yeah.
and a man with black hair, and they came down there going. Bzz, bzz, they're-
the three that got in the painted glass.
I
That
think
was the
it's
original.
I
like-
love that one.
That one was brilliant.
Yes.
The first Christopher Reeves,
With the
Superman.
glass prism floating around space.
79,
and they
and
go,
the planet
It
explodes.
wasn't Brando and all that, was it?
Brando was in that.
He
He was
was.
amazing.
Zod.
my only
Maybe I
forgotten
read for
son
Zod.
to the planet.
But wait, that other story.
Brando is
Brando
Trump.
is Trump. He is a little bit. That sounds
He's
good.
Regis. Get out of here. And there's a little bit of he's a little bit of Brando. There we are. There's no one finer than Brendan Fraser.
Anyway,
I just have to
sorry.
tell him
I'm just a little
quickly.
punchy right now.
You're
I'm sure
giddy.
you're more punchy than me.
No.
No, he's beat up. You're giddy from the whale, but we're not talking about that just yet. I want to tell him about his big
can't
break in
wait.
Dickie Roberts. Now,
Yes.
Dickie Roberts, where everyone was saying a Brendan Fraser.
It's like Razor Fraser, right? Razor Fraser rather than
Do you
Fraser.
shave with a razor or do you shave
Oh,
with
Fraser.
a? Do you shave with a razor?
Razor.
Or do you
You
say
did
with
it,
a
Dana.
Fraser?
Razor,
The chameleon voice guy got it.
Yes.
I can do it.
It takes direction.
Tell him about.
No,
Brendan Fraser just gave me an acting note.
I know,
It
you
was
did
a
it good.
great note.
He'd be a good acting teacher.
Yes. I want you to direct me. We'll talk later.
You
no,
can't afford me.
Dana, don't quit trying to get off
Couldn't
Dickie
afford
Roberts. Dickie Roberts is
Give
a
it
tsunami.
a quick synopsis.
So what happened is
Of
I
the-
was
of the
wondering
movie.
because I didn't know Brendan and he was nice enough to come in and do something in it, but I think it was through Sam, the director of George's.
Sam Weissman.
Okay, so the backstory on that was just to bore the fucking shit out of you is Dickie Roberts was pitched. We pitched it. Me and Fred wrote it, and we said, "Oh, it's a
Fred
child
Wolf.
star," which is sort of to this day a theme of child stars kind of hit the skid. You know what I mean? They have a lot of trouble, and it's very real, and it's sad, and it's no one's quite figured out how to fix it. But that movie was PG-13. Two funny things. One, when we finished writing it, a pretty big director, God, I can't remember who it was, said, "I'd love to do it. I'll keep the first act, but we have to go very dark after that and make it R-rated and make it with the way that it really is." And I said, "No, it can't be super dark. I mean, and Paramount's not going to do that." So we handed it in. By the way, when I handed it in, this is a classic showbiz story. So they read it at Paramount, and then I get word through back channels. They like it a lot, and they want to give it to Jim Carrey now.
Ouch.
You understand that this could happen at any time. This is a classic behind the scenes. And so people were trying to keep that away from me going, the good news is they love it, but they think Jim could take it like crazy because he was the biggest guy right then. They'll give him $20 million. And they talked to Adam Sandler. Sandler was the producer of it. And so he said, I don't know, ask Spade, but I think Spade, because he co-wrote it, would rather be in it. But then John Goldwyn, I think it was John Goldwyn, who's under Sherry. You mentioned Sherry Lansing. I think you mentioned her about School Ties.
Yes.
So he called me and said, you might have heard some rumors. It was so weird. And he said, I apologize. We're moving forward the way it is. And I said, John, I get how business works. Take me out of it. If you could have Jim Carrey, I get it. It's really not personal. Yeah. I'm trying not to take it that way. And he said, no, we're moving forward, and let's do it. And so that was such a wake-up call. Like, those conversations happen every day. Yeah. And you just don't know it. I shouldn't have known it, but I found out. He said, you still want to do it? I said, yeah. So we did it. Brendan was very nice, came in, and
what did you do?
Movie. Lovitz was in it.
Dickie Roberts.
I was playing myself.
Yeah, he's playing himself.
Oh, you did a celebrity cameo.
He was. Okay. I was proving that I think I know celebrities because I grew up and I was wearing gloves and I was crazy. But that child star thing could go. There's really dark because they're kids and they get involved in all these crazy adults, and then there's the drinking so we sort of did a skim job of making it, but it was fun. We brought in a lot of child stars to do it, and then at the very end, some of them aren't with us anymore, but it was very interesting to talk to them up front, and hear some of their real stories. But we could talk about Brendan's movies again. All right.
Do you have any more things you want to share about Saturday Night Live before we move on?
I loved it. It was a proving ground, and I earned a stripe at the same time. By the way, I felt like I had. It's a milestone, absolute milestone.
You feel like, I think if I was just out there doing a show or doing a movie, and when it's one of those things like the cover of Rolling Stone or something where they go, they want you to host it, it has to hit you. Like,
it does.
It's just a big deal.
It's not insubstantial at all. And when you host that show, you own New York for an hour or so in a feeling that you get.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
It's the coolest thing.
You feel like you're a part of the city in a meaningful way that I wasn't anticipating.
The whole machine. Everyone's trying to help you. Everyone's there to make sure you're okay that week. And
I think it's about changing clothes.
It's mostly about changing clothes fast.
Quickly. Running around bleachers, not trying to bump your head into the overhead thing.
Basically naked.
You would be in danger of that at your height.
Oh,
Nealon used to bang
clocking
his head.
stuff. Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah. They even put bumpers on it. Like,
they have bumpers.
Little tennis balls.
Because you're sprinting sometimes across the studio in the dark.
Naked.
Essentially naked.
Underneath the seats of everyone watching. So there's all these asses about you. And you're like,
Crew guys are walking by. They've got me stripped naked. This guy walks by with a cigarette going, Spade, I thought you were going to start working out. I go, hey, get out of here. You're not supposed to look.
I would just close my eyes. I was so humiliated. I just had a little underwear on. I was completely bare-chested, everything. They're combing my hair. They're picking at me. And I just closed my eyes. And this can't be happening.
I wear 2 Speedos in case my main one breaks. All right.
I wore a Hooter clamp. If you know the Hooter clamp, it's a thing that keeps everything in place.
Oh, really?
It's called a Hooter clamp.
It's a dance belt, Dana.
No, that's a joke. My brothers and I had that as a running gag when we were kids. I have 3 older brothers. Like you.
Is that one of our sponsors?
We joked about the Hooter clamp.
Brought to you by Hooter clamp.
Brought to you by Wiener
Have you got your Hooter clamp on? It was just a joke. I don't know.
There's also, you can put a trucker's buddy in there where you can pee during the show. That's real.
We don't.
Okay, no.
3 older brothers.
Wait. An SNL. So 97, I had gone. I know you probably looked for me for about a half hour. I had gone by then. And then was Will Ferrell, I think, was there.
Yes, he was.
So what was your cast? It was sort of Will, maybe Molly,
Sherry
Colin Quinn, Will Ferrell, Tim Meadows. You were in a really funny sketch with Sherry O'Terry and Chris Kattan where they went crazy in the gym.
Yes.
Like, what, you want to work out? That aggressive sexual thing.
Do.
The most committed sketch players ever, probably. And you were right in there, at the end. Come on, you guys. And every time you'd play along with them, they'd start screaming at you. It was really funny. You're like, these people are sexual perverts. I'm the trainer. Okay, I'll go with it. What, you want that? You want that? And then Chris Kattan would go nuts on you. Very funny.
Hey, man. Dial it down.
Yeah. So,
It's fun to be in that insane world of like sketch, and then the second you're like taking a bow in your head going, we got through it, here's the crowd, it's live, and they're ripping you going,
Again.
you're the UPS guy in this one, you have a Russian accent, go, and you're like, oh shit, there's another one you're looking like,
Or even worse, if there's a sketch you fell in love with, that one got cut. What? No.
I know. That's between dress and air. It's heartbreaking. You know. Were you on the first Delicious Dish? That's where
No, not the first one. I was on it, though.
But it didn't. The applause at the beginning, I felt like it was new when you were on it, or maybe it was the second time.
I wouldn't know what to compare it to, but I think Peach Sweaty and Peach Sweaty's balls was already.
Sweaty Balls.
Yeah,
that happened
he was
before.
coming on with a little beard and glasses and playing sort of this quiet nerd, playing very small about squash. Or something like that.
That was me. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And what were there? Yeah. Okay.
The scary thing is giving
Just
notes to someone like a host. Like if I'm with
Good
Brandon,
Times. Good Times. Was that it? Good Times.
you walk
Yeah,
up to
Good
him and
Times.
go,
Good
read
Times.
this a little
Good
harder.
Hey, this.
Because writers get to be directors on SNL.
I had a hard time understanding that concept. I'm like, who's the director? Who's the director? And someone actually pulled me aside. Brandon,
Everybody is.
The writers are the director. You are the
Dude, I wrote my first sketch. They go in the booth and watch it. I go, what does that mean? I'm the director of it? I don't know what the fuck's going on.
The great thing there was, when William Shatner came on, he was so loose, like during the dress show or whatever. He seemed like, he goes, well, why would I can't, because we're so under rehearsed. Like, it's ridiculous. There's cue cards.
He wasn't even stressed because, why bother?
Can't believe people take it seriously. You can't rehearse.
So it is just, I loved it personally because I can get up in my head. I love that it was so fast.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just go.
Less time to think about it. Right?
No time to think. Just go, go, go. But
I'm jumping ahead to the Mummy. Now, the Mummy, England, it's called the Mommy.
I'll see your mummy and raise you the whale.
No, we're getting to the whale. That's the big ending.
The whale is the big kahuna.
Yeah.
All right.
But the Mummy, I liked it because
Easy,
leading
Ahab.
man. Say it again?
Easy, Ahab. Hunting for the whale.
Yeah. No, we'll get to that. But
Sorry,
the Mummy
I interrupted you.
Is a
David.
giant franchise.
Yeah.
3 huge movies
Yes.
that Brendan starred in the Knots.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, the
What
Mummy.
did you make?
it
What was your biggest payday?
No, let me see. Oh, yeah. Tell us about
You don't have
money.
to tell
You make
us.
a lot of money.
Biggest
You
one?
don't have to tell us how much money you got paid. That was
I
a
don't
joke.
even honestly recall, to tell you the truth, because most of it's gone now.
I know the feeling. One
Oh,
day
yeah.
you're
I have a
flush,
question.
and the next day little birdie comes and takes it all away.
Sorry,
Do you
Johnny
remember making $1 million? My first
yeah,
million,
I do.
I remember.
I don't
And-
remember
Well,
what
this
it was,
is a
but I remember
really
making
good
it.
conversation.
Isn't that a good conversation? 'Cause
First million. Well, what do you net?
that's the thing. Is it $1 million in the
Exactly.
bank?
People don't understand.
What's the check shock on this one? I remember my first paycheck, and it was for $17,000 on a pilot I did.
What the net?
I went and picked up my check from the agency. It said $9,000. And I went to their accounting department. This is a mistake here. And they pulled me aside and they're like, no, kid, you got to pay taxes. You got to pay a commission.
Oh,
I had the
commission.
same
I had
thing.
no idea.
You're out. I mean, if you get $1 million, you probably make, and this sounds crazy to people because $1 million is so much, but when you walk with 375,000, you go,
You round down to 25 cents on the dollar.
yeah, because you got agent
You
manager.
get used to
sometimes
the
business
gross
manager.
figure, and your friends hear the gross figure.
Yeah.
Right.
I drove to an
Still
agency
up.
once with my wife, and I think it was a $30,000 check for a pilot. And we're like, we're rich. It's
Yeah, of
over,
course.
babe. We went in. It was like $1,300. I tried to give her a hug. She pushed off me.
Like different,
Get off me.
different
You're
three.
not
You said you were rich. Yeah.
Just kidding, honey.
I got it at some point, and I was so excited about it. And okay, and my questions about the Mummy were, it was early in CGI, kind of.
Yeah, it was the tip of the spear at ILM with John Burton running
Oh,
it.
ILM.
And-
Okay.
And they had done a lot of stuff with, I want to say like Terminator.
Shit. Yeah.
and,
ILM was a big one.
The
Not Avatar.
like the creature from
Alien.
I was close. It was Jim Cameron's water movie.
Oh, I remember that. The Abyss.
The Abyss, I think. Yeah.
I got it.
That was pretty good,
That was good, dude.
Because I know a guy who was in it, Todd something. Yeah, anyway.
But it was a big gamble because first of all, nobody had any idea what the movie was going to look like. Is it a comedy in a way? Because everybody's comparing it to Abbott and Costello, and it's a throwback to Mummy, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Was it a horror film? Was it
Was it Indiana Jones?
Was it an adventure film? Was it a romance? Was it a
And it was all
It
of it.
was like a genre. It was a
Exactly.
It
beginning
hit him
of-
on all counts, like a
Marvel
Weisz.
movie today.
Is Rachel Weisz
Right?
the girl?
That hits on all those frequencies.
Correct.
The girl in it was great with him.
Mm-hmm.
John Hannah.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
See? Oh yeah, he was your guide or something.
He was her brother, my brother-in-law, my ne'er-do-well
Oh,
brother-in-law.
They call them popcorn movies today, right? Just fun. That's
straight
what I
Was
think
it
of
fun to do?
Kind of scary.
Absolutely.
Oh, I get
a little bit scary,
A little bit romantic.
but it's
little
thrill
bit fun.
ride funny. Like, I
Yeah.
want to do it again.
Yeah.
Do you get hurt ever?
Not on that one, just my feelings.
Is your feeling? Why you're
I
feeling?
can't remember one reason or another.
How were you with reading reviews throughout your career? Did you get iron
I
or
think
were you dinged by it? Or I'm terribly sensitive. If anything says anything slightly negative,
early
about me-
on it was, you want to slap me in my bulbous face, says some writer in Portland, Oregon. I thought, them's fighting words. I'm gonna come
Yeah.
find you, bro. But it's hard to not take stuff like that
Sure.
personally.
yeah,
But I would always feel like I would root around and look for the good ones, but I didn't know if they held any currency.
Sift through.
Yeah.
I get hurt by Instagram comments. I'm
you
very
are on
fragile.
social media. Are you crazy?
Yeah. Let's
Painful
laugh.
indeed is vindictive speech is a theme of The Whale.
Yep.
Say that again.
Painful indeed is vindictive speech. I saw that on a plaque outside of a temple in Thailand years ago in front of a giant golden recluse.
Well, earlier in your career, if you get something negative, it can affect your career, and you know it. And then later, when you've gone through some stuff, it's a little. If you feel a little more resilient, you know you can withstand the storm. But if early on you do something and people are negative or Rotten Tomatoes or all that shit, it's such a wispy career where it could just wind blow away from you, and you're like, wait, I'm a big deal. And they're
I
like,
think
"No."
it's worse when you've had some success and then you get dinged and they use that success
you
to
get a piece of
juxtapose
it.
how you're not successful anymore.
Mm.
Because I've had my travails with that. But then you kind of go back to, Tom Hanks said there's no crying in
In
baseball.
baseball.
There's no being bitter in show business because the entire thing is designed to make you bitter. I
Make
met
you
Mickey Rooney was the most bitter
That
man I
means it's
ever
working.
met. I was the number one star in the world. You hear me bang the world, So I knew early on, okay, everything about show business is designed to make you feel bitter. So I'm going to choose either to pretend or just remember that we're privileged that we
Or
get
luck-
paid $1 to do
To
this.
do this.
Yeah.
That's the rub. It's like they're paying me to do this. That's how I felt early on
Mhm.
because I would be doing this anyway, even if you didn't, because I didn't know what else to do.
Tony Randall told me that.
Did he?
We get paid to do this. And he was
That's-
like 85 at the
Yeah.
time. Never lost the wonder in all of that.
That's why I
Um,
like people who do regular jobs because I go, we need them. I can't do it. I can't do jack shit.
Agreed.
And I appreciate it. I was a busboy, got fired 3 times. But in The Mummy,
You're a
I was asked
fighter.
that. First of all, The Mummy looked fun, like you said it was.
Fun.
But doing stunts, you must have had to do some in The Mummy. And then you said you
I got
hurt.
choked out pretty good on
Oh,
like
yeah.
day 2 or 3. There was a hanging sequence and
Hanging?
from the neck.
No, I'm out.
Well, didn't they have you in a harness and
They they didn't because they
They're
did
trying to get the shot before lunch.
exactly.
That's
So
what
you-
happens.
Wait,
People
a
don't
hanging
realize that.
scene and you blacked out? Did
Well-
they fire the stunt coordinator?
No, he was too important, and plus I could still be
But,
replaced.
yep,
it was
it's a
early on
hierarchy.
in the schedule,
Wow,
so
wow.
we were running around going, we still have jobs, we do, but we could be replaced. Hannah was like that all the time, like, oh no, I can't believe it. Don't tell them they'll send me back to Glasgow. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, I still got a job. They can't fire me now. Fuck it, let's do this.
So
Sorry, I
that's-
just channeled from that.
You can't. It's hard to complain on the set. You don't want to be a complainer.
I got choked out because the rope was on my neck. Steven said, hey, it's a medium shot. It doesn't look like you're hanging because they already shot the wide of the stuntman in the harness. And he went, bang, and it looked great. You only need a moment. And then they go in on a coverage of Rick, choking. Did one shot, came in, and he said, hey, look, it doesn't really look like you're, dying. Can you really like dial it up? And all right, I didn't like what was happening anyway. So we went for another take. And I remember watching, the camera was on tripod, came around, there's the guy screaming off camera, and I remember looking, I could see the matte box, and I thought, okay, I'm really going to sell the hell out of this, and I made up what would really make me look like I'm choking, like I'd been asked, so I huffed air really hard and started hyperventilating, I held my breath, so I thought, I'll get really big red veins popping out of my eyeballs and all that. That's the stupidest thing you could do if you're at carotid arteries are being choked off. And the guy holding the rope above me on the scaffolding was the stuntman, and he brought up the tension, and I was on my own feet,
On your toes.
Oh,
on my
you're on your
toes,
toes
and I
on
had
the
nowhere to go unless I was a
Ah,
ballerina. And I don't. All I remember seeing is the map box come around, and then it was like, mew,
Went black.
an iris closed, like someone turned the dial down, like, boo. And the next thing I knew, there was a British voice going, Brendan, Brendan. And there was dirt in my ear and in my teeth, and it felt like my elbow was behind my head and the world was sideways. I didn't understand it. And my shin really hurt, and everyone was quiet as a drop of pin. Forget it. They were screaming their heads off moments ago, earlier. And I thought, what just happened? And then it kind of dawned on me that these guys are medics. They're trying to wake me up. Everyone's looking at me.
Sheesh.
It was, while it didn't hurt per se, it frightened me more than anything else. And I didn't like having that feeling of, being the fallen team player when it happens in hockey or football or something. Everyone gets quiet.
Yeah.
And I kind of had this emotional reaction, like
Yeah,
I
you
did
would.
something wrong or I didn't know.
Whole set's dead silent.
And Simon Atherton, I outed you, runs over to me and he goes, all right, man, cool. You're in the club. Same thing happened to Mel Gibson on Braveheart. Ha 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 ha. I'm like, I want to go home.
Wow. Initial here. Press hard for copies. We won't sue.
I passed
even
that
think of that.
test.
He is a great stunt guy. He went on, he did a lot of really good stuff that
Wow,
we've all
I've never heard of someone having that experience.
Apparently Mel Gibson did on Braveheart. Like I want to
Yeah, but
wear.
you said, let's do it again.
There's a difference.
That's my bad, Mel Gibson. So.
That was Mel Gibson.
Oh, I can't. Australian accents are difficult.
That was Keith Urban.
Okay, now I just want to touch on. We're
Yeah.
making our way toward the whale.
Yeah, we are.
Which is great.
We're
I
pretty
just
much
want to. My wife and I were watching the Affair on Showtime,
Oh yeah.
which I think is a really, really great show. And then you
Me
come
too.
on for season 3,
Yes.
and it's a precursor to your skill at the whale or whatever you've done throughout your career, because you must have got a lot of heat for that character, Gunther, this damaged, sadistic prison guard, and all of a sudden there's Brendan doing his thing. So it really stood out for me, and I really recognize that's Brendan Fraser. I mean, he's killing it. So did you get that feeling from that part?
The conceit for that was that he was a doppelganger. He was the bookending character, and it's lifted straight out of it's creepy German fairy tale lore. The doppelganger is your other half. Doesn't necessarily have to be your twin other half, but looks like you and is there to teach the protagonist something about themselves, and they're doing it through the use of violence. So that was Gunther, and that's evidenced in the Rashomon quality of Rashomon story quality of like what really happened from different perspectives that the affair was structured on. When you would pick up little clues of, all right, Noah's car got
Noah, yeah.
his car got bashed into by Gunther, who was trying to chase him down. He saw him in the rearview mirror, but he pulls over and he thought it was a vision, but the camera pulls back and there's no damage on the bumper. So did it really happen or not? And then by story's end, he gets out of jail and confronts him in his own home. And it turns out the guy may have just been a well-meaning social worker all along, who worked in the jail and wanted to make sure that the inmates had a structured plan when or if they got out. And he was confronted by him on his own front lawn. And you should be left wondering, did that really happen that way? And I think that was the perfection of that show, because they did that in so many ways, from retelling a story from different characters' perspectives.
Her point of view, his point of view. But it's interesting to me, not being any kind of sort of dramatically trained actor, is that you do all this stuff, prep work in your head, and then you just stand there as Gunther, and we as viewers just know a lot's going on. You're gone, and this guy has got tons of shit going on. So it's just fun to watch.
Thank you.
It's interesting to pick
I appreciate
different places to show up to, like in The Affair, which is a hit show, and then he's in there.
That's why you never went totally
surprise.
away. There's always you're showing up in really kind of high quality stuff throughout what do you call it? The post knots?
Not
2012 to
around
now.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I did take a step back to slow down. My life had taken a different path at that point too. I had kids. I'd moved across the country. There's some legal action in my life, personally speaking, and that, for better or worse, it's something you must contend with, and it takes your focus away from what your aspirations professionally are. But you'd go mad if you didn't have a job, right? So I always had something to do, whether it was with the affair or some other project. And also, I don't know if I could have maintained the level of expected success that I had up until that point, because you fall out of favor if your film doesn't reach, I don't know, a magical number or something like that. And you don't know what the rules are. You don't know if you've been fired or you just won't be rehired. Yeah. So you got to take it in control of it yourself.
Being someone who had a botched bypass and had career difficulties, I just wonder how you process that period of not needing to go and do it personally, but it's sort of on record that you had troubles and various things. Same with other people. How does it affect you now? You look back at, hey, Brent, were you proud of you? Were courageous? You made the right choices.
I'm glad for everything that happened the way that it did, because I couldn't be the individual who I am now without having gone through the paces that way before. If this kind of acknowledgement that I'm seeing or receiving right now had happened 20 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to I wouldn't have had the emotional man tool belt of psyche to deal with it. I do now because I have a context. I know why I do this. It's because I got kids now. And that just chemically changes everything every choice you make. It gives it that's the reason why. The rest of it was just about desperation and fun and trying to stay with
I think that's where I'm at.
A trend. Desperation and fun, or staying with a trend.
That's the title of his Showtime special.
Desperation and fun. It took Brandon to find a good title for me. I go, that's it. That sums it all
Quick,
up.
let me write that down.
So it's sort of like your own mortality, or putting your kids first in your brain all the time. And for me, when I
did that
had
too.
I was like, oh, you can really check out of here at any time, So I was like, oh, please, can I get to 60?
Oh, you mean you can check out, meaning you?
Yeah, because my issues were at 42. I'm perfect now. Never had a heart attack. That's all. It's in my book.
I recall, Dana, and you look fantastic. You look really healthy. And
you look hot.
Thank you. I know. Anyway, but I was curious about that, and that makes total sense. And so you're back at the table in a way, and you're saying it makes sense. All this emotionality you went through and this whole trajectory, you're able actually to grasp it. Because I got an Emmy once, and Bob Hope handed it to me.
Wow.
And I wasn't really there.
Just you had an out-of-body experience with it?
Out of body, but I couldn't really. Me and Emmy, I'm just from Carmel.
And you're like, am I the
school.
good guy that's supposed to get an Emmy right now? When I look at everyone so great,
when I was on the cover of Rolling Stone, I felt nothing. I just I couldn't grasp it. I'm just saying that you
talk about that a little more, because it kind of happened to me a little bit last night.
Oh, good.
Oh yeah,
great.
the Critics' Choice.
And I were, kind of no. Yeah. Well, can I say one thing about Anthony Hopkins again? Just by accident. Because he was kind of doing TV movies, and then he read the script. This will take very fast. Hannibal Lecter or whatever, Silence of the Lambs, and he put it down after 5 pages. He said, "I didn't want to read anymore because I might not get the part because it was so perfect."
Wow!
And he thought he would think to himself, "What would it be like to be in a big Hollywood film? Oh, wow, that must be amazing." So he does Hannibal Lecter, wins the Oscar. He's in Times Square. He looks up, Silence of the Lambs, Anthony Hopkins lying around the block. And he says, and I felt nothing.
Oh.
So it's hard. You're out of body in a way. You're all these awards you're getting and 10-minute standing ovations. I would find it to grasp it. You feel like you're in a fever dream or something?
No, sometimes, but that's just my own insecurity coming to take over me. And the best advice I'm getting from friends and family and all that is just stay in your own boots. Just take the moment in. Yeah. And I know that has value because I couldn't appreciate that stuff earlier on. I can now.
Yeah. Well, I think that for all of us, because, I'll cry in my car sometimes, just like for a minute, when just things overwhelm you. Yeah. And David is there usually at the same time. No, but so when you're that raw with people and it's so authentic, I know that's such a cliche word now. it touches all of us.
Yeah.
Because we're feeling the weight of it. You can't watch your acceptance speech. And I couldn't, by the end of The Whale, too, it was just so overwhelming. Yeah. And so whatever you went through maybe informed you to bring us these gifts.
It has to have had value or gotten into your body. And The Whale was shot during time of COVID also. So, and there's this, tiny set, 2-bedroom apartment. We rehearsed on a sound stage with a taped out floor for 1-to-1 model. So we really knew our jobs pretty well.
Say 1-to-1 model? So it's like exactly taped off what the set's going to be.
Yeah, you would rehearse a play, for instance. Darren wouldn't even let us cross the tape. We had to use the entrance, taped out entrance.
Like there's a wall there.
Yeah. Okay. You would walk into the wall. Don't cross the tape.
Darren Aronofsky.
Aronofsky.
Him too.
Sheesh.
I'm not good. I went to state school.
I'm
not. We're from Montana. We don't put 2 and 2 together too easily.
I'm Brendan Fraser. How do you do?
Brendan Fraser's here. I mean, it's almost like.
I always thought, just to touch on what you just said, it would be harder to me, I think, if you were on Friends. It's like a show like that. The first thing out of the gate is so huge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you don't realize it might not be like that anymore.
How do you follow that up?
And how do you follow? It must screw with your head. And when you get like one line in something and then you get this, and you sort of go up and have, everyone has career ups and downs, that you do appreciate when it's going good because you go, it can go away. You didn't know before, but now
I still feel like someone's going to walk in the door and accuse me of fraud, basically. And I have imposter syndrome. Like you feel like I should be feeling something.
I guess it's normal. Jimmy Stewart and Henry Fonda said that's it. Every movie.
They haven't found me out yet.
Yeah.
Dana has
and I won't
insurance.
even do the impression.
I guess we're right on schedule then, guys.
We're David.
Tell him. Now listen, people don't know this. The Whale got a 12-week standing ovation. By the way, I will say it's funny when I hear like a 3-minute standing ovation, then 6, until I go, what are these people doing? Do they bring a lunch? Because they're clapping going, are you sitting down? Because I loved it, but I have to go to the valet now. Like it's 15.
Pace yourself to do
it's
this.
a lot of work.
Well, and Brandon's watching him going, are you done? I get it. You liked it. Now my feet are hurting.
I was trying to leave the theater when I thought we were almost out the doors in Venice, and Darren's like, "No, get back, take a bow." I'm like, "Really? All right, fine." So I did. I took a bow. It wasn't, but what you don't see is I was looking at 1,200 people, and they're all crying, and they're Italian and stuff, and they're doing this. You can't not.
So was that a moment? I was just curious about this when I see that. Like you do the movie, so everyone's starting to get you hyped up. Hey, you got to admit, hey, you're awesome at this, right? It's starting to happen. But then when you show it to an audience and you get that kind of response, then okay,
like it's real.
It's as great as people are telling me,
right?
And so see why that would be a waterworks moment, maybe even more than
because it's proof they actually like it. It's not just some agent or somebody telling you that it's good. You're great in it.
Are you having a sense memory right now?
I was just no.
Because that.
Oh, no, wait. I am now. Now I am. No.
Okay. Because it feels like that would be the first. What was the first one that you showed it to, where you were with the audience and they
Venice
okay.
Film Festival,
1,200 seat theater.
I don't have the number of seats, but there were many people.
And you have no idea how it's going to go.
I know that I've seen it. I know that after you finish watching this film, the credits roll. And people are still rooted to the spot. And I don't say that in the same kind of like blowing smoke kind of way. Agents go, well, I loved it, man.
This one's legit. I was the whole time just
riveting.
I felt like I needed to reconnect a few sockets and cables after I saw I'm in the thing. And
it's not, it doesn't let up. Your daughter in is wonderful.
Sadie Sink.
Sadie Sink is
from
tremendous.
Stranger Things. You and her
Liz
together is that energy is magic. The two of you.
She came in, coming in hot, and she did not let up. She was tough too. She was tough.
The estranged daughter.
She's, first thing, Sadie is a genuine article. I watch this kid winning the game ball every single day at a front row seat. Her talent presages her years. I don't know, like, where'd you come from? And she is, as Darren describes her, she's like a jewel. You look at it one way, it's interesting and new and beautiful and all that. And there's something, a new facet. And she was just consistent, a stone cold professional in her approach. Just always gold star performance. I could say nice things for the rest of her time here. But Sadie is also a young woman who has a big family. Her father is a football coach. He's got a handshake on him, like gripping a handful of channel lock pliers. Like, are you a stonemason? Like, ouch. And it's just him introducing himself. So she comes from a real strong family. And she has this gift. It has to be. Yeah. Her approach to playing this part was, and I saw it. She never went in for the trope of an angsty teenager. She understood that this girl is talented as a character, but doesn't know it yet. She has a lot of understandable rage that comes from her hurt. Charlie did something that really, really wounded this kid. And he didn't have to pay the bill on it until it confronts him and life doesn't. That's the movie.
You invited the bill being paid.
Exactly. So she comes back and she's demanding of to get what she needs. Sadie's focus on that was never to crack until the moment when the spell gets broken in a way, when he finally crests his Mount Kilimanjaro of making his apology to her. And come see the film. But that's the
I'm
moment.
Welling up just thinking about that part because first of all, watching it from different eyes, my dad left when I was 4 and my brothers were 6 and 8. So, and he didn't come around and then he came back later and he didn't really want to make up. He just came around. And so I was the one sort of pushing the reconciliation, just because you don't have your dad. Yeah. And so there was themes in that movie that hit me in different ways. And also just the fact that it is just a very well-crafted, and the woman that takes care of you, Liz, I think is her name.
Hong Chow.
Yeah, she was magic as well. It's in movies that are brilliant, that are great, and I give it up to the writer, director, and all the performers.
Samuel D.
You
Hunter.
can't imagine anyone else playing any other part.
No.
That's a great movie. That's always the sign of it. No one else could have done what you did.
I believe that character should have its own movie. Yeah. I want to know who Liz was at work in her other life.
Right, because she just comes in.
Such a likable character.
And there's more that Hong can say in between the lines, in the pauses and the silences, than any of the dialogue she's speaking, just by her face and how she drinks in who she's speaking to, almost as if like she's listening with her pores or something.
Well, there's parts in there, and you can always tell us to cut something out if it feels like it's too much. But remember the part, Dana, where she's talking about her truck, and it's such a curveball, like you're getting it from all sides, and it's just like, oh my God, what a fucking mess. That was tough to take, all that. So, listen, it got me. I kept starting and stopping it because I had to gather myself. Brendan, I'm a comedic performer. I was doing sold out shows, other people's words, in big theaters. And it was hard to regain the funny bone. But like you, very talented. And I got through it. Dana?
Like you.
I just want to ask, because I'm fascinated how great movies get made. I remember asking Joe Pesci once, do you know when it's great?
Yeah.
How do you do it? I mean,
what did he answer?
He goes, hey, you lock in. That's how you do it. You just fucking lock in, He said something once that I knew he'd done. He goes, sometimes some guys don't want to fight. You know what I say? Sugar bowl across the nose. And you could tell he'd done that move. He's not a big guy, but
doesn't matter.
But he says you lock in. So for me, when you're shooting the whale, how does Darren approach that? So he's got these diamond gems. You're in your thing. You're this big giant person, and you're just so locked in. Does he do you a lot of takes? Do you ask for more takes? Is he?
He likes to shoot a lot of takes, and
and that's okay with you.
Look, we're all there once anyway. Yeah. We knew, like I said, we knew our jobs from the rehearsal process. So you made your discoveries and you made your bonding, you made your mistakes before you walk up, instead of just a bunch of actors showing up, going, it would be really cool, and looking at the sides every morning. No, we knew how to play the music
because it was a play.
Yes, precisely, and for that. Each take, because it's a tiny set, it's a 2-bedroom apartment. We're like a submarine crew on top of each other, and because of the exigencies of playing that character, and I'm wearing a great deal of makeup and apparatus and costuming and harnessing, and whether it was a man whose body is big like Charlie's, or if I was in an alien costume or something, they're really kind of the same approach. It's suit performing, and so I figured, we're here. Let's just keep doing it again. Darren, he would just keep shooting. We were also shooting like everyone does now on digital. So there's no more film. There's no magazine to change.
Just keep going.
It's like a light switch. Just turn it on. And you can do them on a loop. And if something's off on a take, just back up the camera and go again. And I think that would get him a lot of variety. And but in Hong's case, he would just kind of go, okay, well, we already got it. You know what? Just show off. Impress me. He loved her so much. It wasn't, you would try, and it was really finessing many takes to find out what's the best way to do it. He was never shooting for variety, with me at least.
And you could almost do it different ways. Like there's different colors and layers in each take, and you're like, he's got to go back and pick which is the best one. Because sometimes I think that was a good one. Next one you go, that was good at the beginning. Oh, we nailed that part. On different movies, but this one, I'm sure he's got in his head what he wants. It's hard. It would be hard with that emotion, which is a lot of your stuff, and humor.
It's very emotional.
To get through take after take. That would be harder for me.
Well,
because you have to
I
get
say
there.
one day at a time. I think you got to eat an elephant one bite at a time.
At least it was in one location was kind of nice.
Yeah, where was it?
We shot in Newburgh, New York. Across the mighty Hudson. It was frozen at that time of year, so cold there, in a motorcycle museum in the lower half of...
and I'm sure you said this on press junkets, but so it's 3 hours in probably and 3 hours out? 4.
Oh,
and how many to get out?
An hour. But that's okay. I mean...
shoot for 12 minutes a day.
I had a guy, Kevin Yeager, who's brilliant on this, a very goofy movie no one saw, Master of Disguise.
I love Master of Disguise.
Hey!
Wait a minute. Let me can I record this?
Master of Disguise on the Master of Disguise.
It was
anyone we interview that mentions it gets a little.
It was very, very silly. But he like 8 hours with me sometimes.
Wow. 8? Honest?
Yeah.
In which character? Do you remember?
Well, it was the Turtle Man. I'd get there at 3:30 or 4 sometimes. Oof. He would spray spackle very detailed on my hands and stuff.
Yeah. Was he built? Were they putting appliances on you that were already built?
Appliances on when I did Quint from Jaws, Robert Shaw, Shark Go in the Water. That was a big one,
Right.
Look exactly.
And I'm encased in rubber. I don't know if you had a situation. I'll ask you in a second. And they said Barbara Streisand's here today because James Brolin was playing the father. Mm-hmm. So I had lunch with Barbara Streisand, but I'm in full prosthetic Robert Shaw makeup the whole time. Weird, yeah. There was no time for me to get out. So do you have goofy agents or people come by? You're completely Charlie. You're fully your guy. And then you're talking as Brendan. It was a little weird.
There were moments of that. But if we weren't like in the production or the family, there weren't that many visitors anyway. There actually 0 because it was COVID restrictions and all that. I think David from A24 came around and just put his head into my cooling tent and say hi.
My cooling tent.
Yeah, I did. I had a cooling tent with a Barker lounger.
Yeah.
Because you can't get up and run to lunch. You have to
I needed to be wheeled the 70 or so steps from the chair to the set, to the chair, to the set.
I won't say anything more about the movie, but I could see
right.
that.
We're talking about the movie The Whale, which is doing very, very well box office wise, I've read. I mean, it's getting a big audience for an indie film.
It's hard to make adult thoughtful dramas at the moment. I hope they'll turn around. It used to be that's all you could make if you wanted to do something small. It was a thinky piece that went to a film festival and then you hoped for distribution or something like that. But what with streaming and all the different ways to consume content.
After rehearsal, how long did it take?
After what?
After you were done with rehearsals, how long did it take to actually shoot it?
I think we had 30-something days, not including the weekends, but 30, 32 days.
Okay.
But we shot mostly chronologically, which was really helpful.
That's fun. Yeah,
that really helps. Through.
I wouldn't say it's a fun movie, but I'd say that helps. That helps.
Well, good is good. I'm wondering when the first time you did the makeup test and you became the character, and when you looked in the mirror, obviously the thing is you start to go, What was your reaction? Was it emotional almost?
It
or-
was actually funny
Yeah.
you should ask.
So I think
The first test was at the Protozoa office, and Adrian Moreau is the designer of this makeup.
Mm-hmm.
He's brilliant, and getting into it for the first time, it was big labor to get all the parts from Montreal and all that. And Darren looked over my shoulder and he said, "For the rest of your life."
what does that mean?
That's what I thought. What does that mean? And then I thought, I know what you mean, actually, because you can't really divorce yourself from me creating this character for better or worse.
Mm-hmm.
Well, people remember it.
Yes,
Sticks in.
you can be remembered for something for the rest of your life for any number of reasons.
Well, there's never been a movie that explored people who suffer from obesity.
Not in this way.
No,
I thought about this long and hard. I remember
not this way. Right? Yeah.
the closest I could think of, and this might be reaching for it, was Dom DeLuise in Fatso.
Oh, interesting.
It was
Is
called
more of a
Fatso?
broad comedy from the 80s, right? Or
Yep.
70s?
It was really emotional too.
Yeah.
And
Interesting.
I drew inspiration from John Candy in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah.
You recall when they were he was deriding him, and he says,
Mm-hmm.
"Go ahead, I'm a big guy. You can take a shot at me,
Yeah.
but I like me. My wife likes me.
Yeah.
I'm good enough." I mean, and he looked like he was going to crack in that moment, and he probably was. And that was
Yeah.
a beautiful piece of acting right there. I don't think we've seen that kind of sensitivity attached
Yeah.
to owning who you are when you live in a larger body like that.
Yeah. And I love that he was a college professor, and there was a heartache always underneath almost the entire, it was just there. You didn't have to play it. It
Even when
just
you're
felt-
being light, like you're being
Yeah.
light with everyone, you're saying, "I'm sorry." But it is all in really your face. So the suit kind of goes away after a while because you're just watching you to see what's
That's the
going
hope, because in absence of it, being a success with our finely tuned brains seeing makeups versus CGI creations, and you can tell where the dotted lines are, and you automatically go, you have to make a decision about suspension of belief. I'll let that one slide. But with this, it was a straight ahead analog makeup,
Yeah.
with the exception of maybe a light digital curative, if like a piece of fabric on your shirt was acting up in its own movie or whatever, that we'd fix that later. There was a scene when on the bib sort of shape of the collar, when Charlie goes down the hallway to go to bed, he takes his shirt off before, and anyway, that was the full suit. It was very heavy, and anyway, but apart from that, what you see was what you got. But if it didn't work, there was no movie, and the rule was, this is a makeup and costume that will obey the laws of physics and gravity. It will not be what we've seen so frequently, which is
a light foam.
a Halloween costume kind of silhouette
No, it was
that an
very real.
athletic actor wears, and you sort of defy gravity and bounce around the way. And
Yeah.
I mean, that's a different movie. It's a different genre.
Mm-hmm.
I have mixed feelings about what's funny about that and what's not.
No, you look like it was very belabored to do anything.
That guy was ill. He was not well.
You really, I mean, when you were wheezing and I felt suffocated, I was really, and when the heroic moment with his daughter where he's, I don't want to give away the ending, but when he gets up, that put me in a puddle of tears. I'm feeling it right
it's
now.
having the strength to get to your feet and do what you need
Just
to
someone
do.
who loves his daughter so much, and it's impossible, and he's going to do it anyway. And anyway, you should see it, folks. If you like great drama.
If you like great movies, my God, jeez.
Sorry,
anything
so you got
else?
me again,
Thanks,
Brendan.
Dave.
What do you
No.
got for Brett? I think we should let him go on his flight.
There you go.
Brendan's a very nice dude, and
Brendan
he came
Fraser.
over on the way to go to more stuff in London about
Anyway.
the whale.
On another human note, everyone, there's so many awards in our lives growing up.
Yeah.
You're a Canadian, I speak French, but there's the Academy Awards. I mean, you've already nominated Golden Globe, you've won Critics' Choice. I don't know how many more there'll be, but do you let your mind wander to that idea of an Academy
No,
Award?
I can't. I
Yeah,
don't want
I
to get
know.
ahead of myself. I can't read those tea leaves any better than you
Yeah.
or me or anyone can. I laugh at the prognostication that goes on because nobody knows shit.
I know.
Nobody knows anything.
No, it's always a surprise.
Disabuse yourself of having the inside track. You do not.
No, nobody knows. You do have to keep that attitude.
Yes.
Right, 'cause
It was
everyone asks
Herman
you-
Melville who wrote, "I know not all that may be coming, but come what
May.
will, what may, I will go to it laughing."
Yes.
I lived by that
Yes.
since Venice this and now. A few other maxims and idioms along the way. Another one being ignorance is the parent of fear. It's better to know, better to go towards the risky things that we're reticent to know about or learn about. So that you have a fully formed opinion about it, a more well-informed opinion, than just ignoring it and condemning it early on and remaining frightened.
Yeah.
That's, again, Melville, 1851.
Moby Dick.
Exactly.
With Gregory Peck.
That
too.
Saw it as a little kid. Was always blown away by it.
Did you just do Gregory Peck?
Gregory Peck. I've kissed bigger lips than yours. I'm Gregory Peck. I'm Henry Fonda. I can do these guys, but no one knows what they talk like. Yeah, I know a lot about a GAF projector. Now, you're a Polaroid camera. GAF. Anyway, I just do the voices. But, you know, those Rich Little voices, those old movie stars.
I loved Rich
The
Little.
only one you could do now is Jimmy Stewart because of It's a Wonderful Life. Kid came up to me, hey, you did the It's a Wonderful Life guy. But the rest are all
fading out,
gone.
They don't know who they are. They have no
No,
frame
it's
of
okay.
reference. Is that right?
Our
They
first
don't.
movie stars.
I still do Nixon in my act. It seems to.
Do you? Can
Still-
we get a taste?
No, my accent's stupid.
Isn't that the standard?
That's it.
No, that was, Nixon was a good go-to. in the old
Alderman
days.
and Dean, they were the ones that led me down that path.
Well, good luck to you. I think anything that happens from now on is all gravy. So it's
Brendan,
been great. Great talking to you.
I'll give you one little thing, and
Yeah,
I'll
give
do it
one
as
little
Hans
thing.
and Franz. Fee, fi, fo, fum.
Oh, boy.
I smell an Oscar nomination.
Oh, God.
Sorry, he's laughing. We have to have a sense of humor
Can
about
I
it.
just, in memory of my late mother, who loved the church lady because she was church.
really?
She was church lady.
Oh, that's funny. Well. We're up there getting our awards, aren't we? We think we're a little bit superior to a little man I like to call Jesus. We like ourselves, don't we? We're having a good old time at the party circuit where alcohol is served and the sluts there are plenty. Yeah, I don't know where she came from, but that's I'm flattered that your mom got some joy out of that character, and my mother-in-law is Irish Catholic, loves it as
They would
well.
have got along great.
They loved it. No one took offense to it, even in the Bible Belt. They just loved. But it's just fun to be superior. We like to talk on our little microphone, don't we, David?
Yeah.
We've got a podcast, and we feel superior. I don't know where it's an idiotic character, but Brendan Fraser exudes likability. I'm so happy that he's laughing right now because it's been he got me. David saw a little bit. We laughed, but
So
anyway.
I saw the whole thing, you jackass. The whale?
Well, just everything here when we started thinking about that last moment in the film, it still gets me.
I don't want to talk about that because it's part of the movie, but I was gotten all across the board. I kept stopping because I was like, oh my God, this is catching me off guard. Over and over.
So what can we? How
But in
can
a
we
good way.
sum up? We appreciate you. I mean, the whole world is, as you know, just loves you.
think
Everyone's
they're pulling
happy
for
to
him.
see you.
It's
And
not
that's
always the
really
case.
nice. And I know that
It is.
you've been through everything, and it just seems, well, that's show business, and then there's life, and it's hard to, kind of puff yourself up at this point and go, hey, damn right,
I will never let that.
And it's never going to happen, but at least I would just enjoy it as much as
You got a
you
little
can.
run going. Just
I agree. Thank you.
as much as you can.
I appreciate
Ride it
that
out.
a lot.
People will say nice things to me sometimes, and I'm like, oh, okay. You're blowing up, Dane. That's my sister. You're blowing up again. I go, really? I don't think so. But so I know, but for you, your training and what you've shared with us about your, quoting Melville and what you're doing, I mean, that's the true path. Like what's,
knows what he's doing.
what's the work, In the end of the day, you did this brilliant piece of acting in this film. That's all we have.
Period.
Thank you.
Look, I summed it up.
Thank you.
All right.
And I have a business manager to introduce to you. No, do you have any advice?
No, he's doing good so far.
Yeah. So anyway, well, good luck in
dude.
these next few weeks going through the circuit, and we
you,
only wish
gentlemen.
you the best. And we also really want to thank you for coming on our
Yeah, very
podcast.
nice.
It's my absolute
Very cool.
pleasure.
No, it's very very flattering.
You got to talk toward the end. I thought that was a big deal.
We tried to interrupt. I said to David before, let's cut him off 50% of the time.
We
had
don't
a
even
strategy.
we don't have to coach us on that.
No, we hope you. Is there anything else you feel you want to say say to the world?
Just thank you.
Because we have a really
Thank you.
big following.
Just thank you very, very much.
All right.
And,
No, it was a
do
complete
enjoy
pleasure.
Fly on the Wall with Dana Carvey and David Spade.
There you go.
Brendan Fraser, thank you.
Hey, what's up, flies? What's up, fleas? What's up, people that listen? We want to hear from you and your dumb questions.
Questions, ask us anything. Anything you want.
You can email us at flyonthewall@cadence13.com. Okay, here's an AMA, guys. Dana, get prepped. First of all,
pick a sunglass. David, I'm going to let you pick for this segment.
I don't mind the little. No, I like those better.
All right.
Okay.
Twins.
Love the podcast. The recent Farley tribute was great. Sent me on a YouTube deep dive of Farley's time in SNL. What a legend. Question for David. You mentioned a movie you and Chris were pitched shortly before he passed called The Tree. Do you remember specifics? Yes. His name is Lance Witchy, pronounced like witchy woman. That's what he says. Okay. The Tree, Dana, was a movie. It was pretty typical of Spade Farley formula. I like this. I was a stiff DC political guy climbing up like an assistant, whatever, low man on the totem pole. I'm getting married. It's a week for my wedding, week before Christmas, or whatever. After Thanksgiving, they say they want a tree to be delivered to, across the country. I order it. There's a big screw up. It's my fault. I hear from the president himself, you go get the tree and bring it back. Make sure it gets here. So I have to fly across the country. I have to get back for my wedding. And Farley is the lumberjack that's in charge of the tree. And he wants to make 18 stops on the way there. And I don't want to. So we fight along the way. And it's sort of a good device.
Kind of like trains, planes, and automobile, like two misfits on a journey. Is that script still around?
It might be. I
Because
thought
we're
later.
two misfits that could go on a journey.
Yeah,
We wouldn't even have to act.
I'm up for journeys. And Melissa McCarthy, I thought might be funny at one time for that. But it just sort of went away. We both had read it. We had done, we'd just done 2. So we thought, let's give it a breather. But at the end, we were like, the tree was pretty funny. We could probably shape that or get somebody on that. So anyway, it didn't work out. But that was kind of what it was.
I never asked you this, but what was the difference, you think, in terms of like Black Sheep versus Tommy Boy?
Nothing.
I mean, did you sense that maybe Black Sheep wasn't, because Wayne's World 2 didn't do as good as Wayne's World 1, but...
Well, the problem there was Tommy Boy, the quick stories, which we're not good at quick stories, but it sort of fell into place. Pete Siegel's director, Fred Wolf was on the set. We're just adding jokes. We're just all screwing around.
So,
no one's
it was
watching
light
the farm.
and easy, and then the pressure in the second one.
Second one, we got your director from Wayne's World.
Penelope, she's good.
And she didn't want me in Black Sheep. So... And she's admitted this. She said I wasn't good and she didn't like me in Tommy Boy. And she said she just wanted to do a movie with Chris, so she would do this movie.
Oh, well,
And that's when and she took 40 pages out of the script that Fred wrote and we all chipped in on. So we were more separated in the movie and it wasn't as fun back and forth. I still like Black Sheep, but I'm not here to hammer her down. I'm just saying.
No, I'm sure
that's
she
what
has
it turned
her side
into.
of it. I didn't mean to bring up something negative.
No,
I would just say that
I think I better go. I'm gonna
budgets
leave.
are also... David, if I could for a moment.
Yeah.
Budgets are also can be the enemy of comedy. Like, so the first movie, they threw Mike and I as Wayne and Garth on the hood of the car. And we're going, do you ever be attracted to Bugs Bunny or whatever? And it was like, took 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you ever...
Wasn't overthought.
If she's a babe. If she were president, she'd be Abraham Lincoln. So it was just one take, go away. Second movie was like a 3-day shoot, multiple cameras. We're on that car for hours.
CGI.
Sucking and squeezing the life out of it. So anyway,
That's
no
what
one's
happened.
fault.
And a lot
Just
more pressure, and a lot more cooks in the
more
kitchen.
pressure.
Saying,
Yeah, but not
we
the
think this way
director
could be
was great.
funny. This could,
Yeah.
overthought, over-tested. And so I still liked a lot of Black Sheep, and Chris was definitely funny in it, but and there's some funny parts. Penelope did add one thing I have to give her where we were in bunk beds, and when she said, I'm going to do this thing where he falls on you, and I go, we didn't shoot that. And she goes, I did it with a camera trick. And when I saw it, I was like, there's no fucking way I would even know that was a camera trick. It looked so real. And so
reverse.
I will give her that. That was very funny. And a great additional joke, which is what you're killing for in those movies. Just get a house laugh. So that's it. And thank you for asking.